Okay, it says we are live. Hey guys, how you doing? Um, sorry for the wait. Had some all sorts of difficulties. Had to help out the little guy a little bit. We had to change the sheets. He had a little bit of accident, and came down and had everything all set up and couldn't pair my headphones wouldn't pair. I had to get a new set of headphones, earphones. My the LGs I had died. It's like the second or third set of LGs that died. So if you're looking for Bluetooth earphones, maybe stay away from LG. We got a set of Sony, and they wouldn't pair. Couldn't get them to pair with the computer. So it was at a standstill there for about 10, 12 minutes. So I appreciate you guys holding on. Let's see, we got out here. We got. You guys have been talking forever. Yeah, fine apes out there. Squib, you're in there, out there. Ape, you're in here too. How you doing? Patriot in the Dark was here, but he had to bolt. He thinks he's going to win. No guarantees on that one. We do have a lot of guesses. Hopefully, we'll. I did throw another hint up in the comment section there. What AJ meant. AJ is Alex Jones. So the hint is Alex Jones. Night Strike's out there. Grim's out there. Grim, you got a link out there too. Snowy, you're out there. If anybody's out there that wants a link and didn't get one, give me a yell. Scott P79's out there. Tardot, what's up? And I think that could be it. Revolver's out there. Man, you guys are chatting like mofos. She had to keep yourself busy, huh? Mad Sexy, Zippy, Georgia Revel, Jorge, Roosted. How you doing, guys? What's up? All right, so we'll do some intros here. The last one to go will be our mystery guest. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself again, in case you missed last week's episode. Super interesting guy. Really glad to have him on the show again, and really excited. If anybody hasn't made a guess yet, go down in the comment sections. I'll pull it up on my phone then before we do the drawing, and see who has it right. The first two people that guessed it right automatically get swag from the gunchannels.com, from gear websites. And then we'll take two more people that got it correct in the comment section, and we'll do a little random number. We'll assign a couple of numbers and do that. Okay. So let's go my left to right. Ape, what's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. What's new and unusual? Get any new guns or anything lately? You're always buying stuff to make me upset.
No, but I do have not really on order, but when they get one in, I'm looking for one of those 10 millimeter Ruger 1911s with the night sights.
Nice.
So now that I've said 10 millimeter, we'll see if Jumpy comes in and behaves himself.
Yeah, we'll see. He's probably already wound up. I saw him in the comment section of one or two videos today, so he's out there. He's out there somewhere. Hottie, how you doing, buddy? Well, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Gizzard, you're up next. How's you and George be doing?
We'd be doing just fine. Thanks for the invite, sir.
Absolutely. Anything new, unusual for you?
Not really. I mean, other than I spent today with my daughter instead of the normal Saturday, so I've only been home about an hour or so. And I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I probably won't be here for the entire show. But I'll stay as long as I can.
We will take you as long as we can get you.
All right. To have
you in there. Absolutely. Thanks. Night Strike, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on? I have to go and give a formal complaint. You're stealing my shtick.
No. I'm stealing the Second Amendment shtick.
No. You're stealing my shtick because it's either shall not be infringed or shall not be infringed.
It shall not be infringed. And just because you're sticky, you don't have to blame us for you being sticky.
But yeah, let's see if I can bring the image up. I made a meme for GunTube today.
Go ahead.
Let's see.
I'll lock on you here. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, let me pull the image up. Save that to the desktop. I don't have it on the desktop, which is weird. Screen share. There we go.
So upset. They're so upset at you, us content creators, huh?
Yeah, YouTube is so upset at us.
I don't get it.
Did you forget to put it in Braille?
I forgot to put it in Braille.
Son of a bitch. See, that's why people don't like us. That's why we get a bad rap.
This is why they've created laws for accommodation.
Yeah.
Well, they can translate it into Braille. I'm not doing it.
Horrible. We got Snowy next. What's going on, Snowy? How's it going, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Thanks for
locked
having
on
me.
I'm not.
Not a whole lot in my world. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it as always.
Absolutely. Good to have you. I haven't seen much of you lately.
Yeah, I had to kind of take the last week off. We'll talk about it later, but there was some issues with Amazon, so I'm technically no longer employed with them, but I applied for a bunch of different jobs and ended up getting a job offer that I kind of don't have a choice but to take because it's everything that I've been looking for, including the pay raise that I've been looking for, so worked out perfect. He's got to yell at the Chinese food.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
he was trying to be accommodating.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to be nice and not eating, but I don't know if it's gonna hold up. Squib, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, thanks for the invite. Hey, Abe, I second that decision on the 10 millimeter Ruger 1911. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I have that R1, that Remington 10 millimeter. I'm hoping to shoot that. If I can't shoot it this week, which I don't think I'll be able to, I actually have the 4th off. We're going to probably go up to camp. I might sneak away while I'm up there and shoot it.
It'll fall apart in your hands the first time you shoot it, but
I don't know. It's really seems nice. I've had. I think Matt has one. I think NEA has one or had one. One of the R1s and liked it. It's built really well. It's got good finishing. It's not a whole lot of tool marks or anything like that. The finish is nice and the tooling seems really good. We'll see. I mean, it could maybe the slide will take off with the ammo. Who knows? We'll see. What's going on? Yeah.
Oh, not much. Just been busy getting back on track and got a few reviews going.
Cool. What's coming up?
All right, now I'm just finishing up. I got to do the alien gear, which I'm taking that over a couple weeks, doing each part of their shapeshift, and then, of course, did the unboxing for the K245. But I got to get out and shoot. Actually, it's been kind of busy lately. Haven't been able to get out there and actually test it out.
Yeah, I hear you. And last but not least, our mystery guest. Guess who? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us a little spiel, and let us know what you're all about.
Boy, I've been sweating this last week. I've been trying to get on different shows and family matters and things happen. So I don't know. I'm just a blind guy that likes to shoot. I'm better with questions.
No, that's cool. So guest is a member, one of the fellow members over at gunchannels.com. And what I'm hoping that happens is it really kind of opens up some really cool conversations. Last week's show was really neat. If anybody else has any other questions, throw them out in the chat or from the panel, and we can have another conversation like last week if anybody has any questions. If not, we can just talk about whatever, and we'll give it. I don't know, what time do you think? Midnight? You want to just make it midnight and make that the cutoff for the comment section?
It sounds good.
Give it an hour. All right. So A couple of things. One of the things I wanted to talk about, one of the things that was in sorry, in the description was crappy tippers, right? We talked a little bit about food, a little bit about restaurant etiquette or whatever last week or the week before, and the other day I was downstairs and the owners of the restaurant had clipped I am assuming it was on his desk, either that or somebody gave it to him. It was an article from, I believe, the Washington Post, and I have the article here. Actually, I just took screenshots of it real quick. The Washington Post in their dining section, and it said millennials tip the least, want to eliminate it. Okay, and this is something that actually came up a few years ago. There was I think it was, I want to say it might have been Bobby Flay. I'm not 100% sure. Opened up a burger joint, some high-end burgers or whatever. It was either that or could have been Steven Starr in Philly. I don't remember, one of the two. And they were talking about doing away with tipping and not having those servers, be tipped out. It wasn't not only was it not required, but you weren't supposed to. They were going to pay them a wage, and they were going to increase costs, item costs, just to offset that. Which to some people sounded like a great idea. Some people sounded like a horrible idea. Some people thought it was kind of trying to reinvent the wheel, which is, I think, kind of it's a tough thing to do on a widespread thing. But as an individual restaurant, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. If that's your policy and that's what you want to do, so be it. The biggest mindset, there's two things to kind of think about. One, upsetting the people that in their head want it to be up to them whether they tip, how much they tip, or whether they tip or how much they tip. You're taking that away from them. You're taking that ability away. And number two, is it going to unmotivate the service staff, which I think is the biggest issue. So I thought this would be a cool one to bring up, kind of get some people's opinions on it and what you guys think about it as consumers or as customers. For me, I can sort of see both ways. Jorge's saying $3. In PA, I don't know if it's just PA or if it's federal. $2.83 is minimum for a server. Now, obviously, it's kind of like we've had some discussions about other people in other industries or any industry, really. If you want to do better, you have to do better. If you want to move up to the next level, you want to make more money, you want to get a better position, you do the position that you have now to the best of your ability. So you deserve more money or worth more money. You get moved up the totem pole or whatnot. Servers, it's kind of the same thing. If you're just doing it to do it, make a little bit extra cash, you don't really care all that much, that usually shows in your tips. You get to the point where you're doing a great job, and you move up to a really good restaurant. Obviously, higher check averages generally equate to more tips, better tips, higher percentage tips. This article, and I can read the article, I could go through it. It would take a couple minutes to read it. But basically, to kind of backtrack a little bit, millennials are they're saying the worst tippers, basically, which I don't know, probably doesn't surprise anybody. Number two was people in the 65 to 75-year-old range, which they equate a little bit more to lack of income, budget, not having the expendable income that a lot of other people do. But they said that they surveyed 1,000 people in each, I think it was each age bracket, and millennials were in I think the 10% range of if things weren't perfect to not tip at all. So that was 10%. That's pretty crazy. It sounds super high, and I guess it is. And it's one of the things that restaurants struggle with on a daily basis is to give people an experience that they feel is worth it. I really care about what I do in the kitchen, not just for myself. I'm salary, right?
Right.
But I care a lot about what I do because if I don't do a good job, the restaurant isn't doing a good job. If I don't do a good job and my guys in the back don't do a good job, it affects servers also. Because people will say, the food wasn't that good, I'm not going to tip my server all that well, which I think is pretty crappy, but it does happen. So I know that was kind of a big, spiel. You guys have anything to kind of throw in on this? I can also read the article if need be, if you guys want me to.
Yeah. Ever since you said that last week, I've been thinking about it, and I have never gave a bad tip or no tip because of the food. My tip is always based on the service, never the food. If I don't like the food, I'll ask them to take it back. I'll ask for something different. I'll say something. They'll usually take it off the bill, or they'll try to accommodate me, which is good service, which usually means they're going to get a higher tip. I have never considered the food, the quality of the food, the portion of the food, whatever it is, at the end of the meal when we're figuring out what sort of tip to leave. It's always been the service. So I don't understand somebody who would base it off the quality of the food.
Well, and that's where the whole survey comes in with the millennials is why, or is that age group so much more prompt to just be like, this sucks, I'm out, and not give the benefit of the doubt or not do whatever. What is it about that age group?
I guess I can chime in on that because I think I'm our local millennial.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so my thought process on it is I actually don't mind the whole process behind tipping and the whole way that that's set up. For me, it's the same way as a bonus in, say, a factory job would be. It's a motivation. Now, obviously, most people who work based off of their tips, that's going to be where most of their income comes from. It's not like these people are getting paid a regular minimum wage plus those tips on top. They're getting paid a separate minimum wage. $2.85 is what it is here as well. The big thing with the millennials is, and my generation and my group of the millennials is, I hate to say it, but most of them have no idea what it is to work in an industry like that. And the reason being is a lot of kids from my age group, if you take my class was about 400 students when I graduated high school. My class, you were lucky if 10% of those ever had to have a job in high school. So their parents raised them to where they didn't know what it was like to work in those situations. And then most of them, and it was something I was debating earlier with people, is most of them automatically went into a college situation. They don't know what it is when somebody is sitting there busting their ass as a server to go to what it takes to actually make that money. I've worked in restaurants before. I've worked at the #1 rated barbecue place in the state of Wisconsin. It takes a lot for people to actually understand, well, this is where those tips go for those people. Basing a tip off of the food is never the way to go. I base it off of service. Now, there has been times where my service has been poor enough. I've left $1, maybe $2, but it needs to be based off of that service. And in a way, it's also a motivation for the servers, because I see it if the servers if they don't have that motivation, like, hey, I can earn this extra money if I do a good job and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have ever traveled to Europe on a vacation or anything like that, but the service over there is the servers tend to be a lot worse, in my opinion, than what you see around here. Because in most of Europe, it's a non-tip based system. And your service over there tends to falter. That's the thing that's, like you were talking about earlier, Midnight, that's the thing is, say you go from just a regular mom and pop diner on the corner and then go to a Michelin-starred restaurant. We have a one-star Michelin-star restaurant Megan and I go to a couple times a year. That's down in Milwaukee. You go there, and if you talk to most of the serving staff there, they started off in that mom-and-pop corner shop. But they started realizing, hey, if I put in the time and effort, I can start working my way up and go into, okay, I can go to this restaurant now, maybe apply there, and I'll get it because I can show that, hey, my service has been really good. And that's a way for them to be motivated on it. Most of the people at those Michelin star restaurants that are servers that if you talk to them as a normal human being would tell you, if they didn't do it off of tips and they just gave me a regular set rate, which let's be honest, a server in a restaurant, whether it be male or female, is one of those where it kind of in some ways is considered to be a minimal skill set job. So essentially those people would get paid what the minimum federal minimum wage would be, is essentially where most restaurants would be at, as far as I'm aware in the thought process I have behind it. So essentially they could be making the same amount that they go to flip burgers at a McDonald's, but they're having to work 1,000,000 times harder and then be courteous to people that may not be the nicest people in the world. So you kind of have to figure it out from there. Which way do you want to go? And I could tell you, I've been to Europe and I've been to multiple different countries in Europe, and the service over there tends to be a lot worse because you don't have that tip-based system. And then it also doesn't motivate them.
Well, I'll say this too. The service in a lot of European countries is slower, and to us, this isn't 100%. This isn't 100% of the time or whatever. But a lot of the times it's slower, but that's because their lifestyle is slower too. To them, that's not bad service a lot of times. To them, it's more of a laid back, if it takes an hour, it takes an hour, where, we're trying to get it in and out in a half an hour because we got an hour to eat. So we're going to leave work. We're going to rush somewhere, if you're leaving for lunch or something, leave work, you got to get there, you get something, you pound it down and you run back to the office or whatever, so you can be back within an hour. So that's where some of it comes from. I can, not all of it, I'm sure. And yeah, tipping. And that's, if you ask anybody, that serves food for a living, what the scariest demographic of people to sit down at your table is, and it's somebody from Europe, from Western Europe, because they don't tip. They're not used to it. If it's their first time out of the country, they come over here, they might not know. Or there was I think it was Waiting, the movie Waiting. The chick got a table, and I think they were Germans, and they, went through whatever, paid the tip, or paid the tab and didn't tip. She walked away all, bent out of shape, all pissed off. And the one dude said to the other dude in German, he's like, "Ha, she thinks we don't know we're supposed to tip." So they didn't. But that's part of it too, is the cultural difference with, a lot of, especially in Italy, France and Italy, a lot of it's super laid back,
Yeah, and another big thing is, like you mentioned, the cultural difference is kind of a crazy one, because if you go over there, we're so used to water being a free thing here in the States, or having unlimited refills of soda. Over there, you don't have that whatsoever. Every glass you get of any drink, you're paying for. So it's something where there's a lot of differences between here and Europe, and it comes down to, I think you're better off with the tipping system, because I've experienced both, and for me it just seems like it motivates them a little bit more, in all honesty.
Well, the whole idea with tips is an acronym. It's to ensure prompt service. That's the whole. It is a built-in motivator. It's a system to motivate staff, and and that's, so it's not unusual. It's not weird to say that, that's where it comes from, because that's really what it is. Anybody else have anything to throw in there?
I'd like to weigh in on this.
What does George have to say? Does George tip you when you feed him?
He does not.
You know what? Something about that guy. I don't know.
I know, right? Well, I know we're a little bit different here, but in this country, your server is basically the face of the restaurant to most of the people. They don't see the people in the kitchen. They don't see the management. I mean, to the customer, the server is the restaurant. And if they do a great job, you'll want to come back there. If they do a crappy job, especially if you get more than one or two, you won't come back to that restaurant anymore. So it's in the best interest, I think, of the restaurant to ensure that the best performers get, the most in tips and stuff like that. If you pay everybody an equitable wage, then you have no incentive for anybody to perform any better than anybody else. I mean, it really needs to be a dog-eat-dog world in order for you to get the best servers out there. And a good server, and my niece did this for a living for a couple of years, can bring down some decent income. It really can.
Oh, sure.
In a decent restaurant.
Oh, but, yeah, absolutely.
You got to scramble for it. And, as far as leaving a tip, and my 30-year-old daughter, about a year ago, she asked me one time, she said, "Dad, I don't know how to tip. How much are you supposed to give them?" I tried to explain things to her and stuff. She said, "I don't even know how to figure out 15%, 20%, Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of times they just haven't been used to being put in that position. They feel embarrassed if they have to pull out anything like a calculator to figure it out,
Well, there's an app for your cell phone where you can just
there's a calculator on your cell phone.
Yeah, you can do that too. But there's they have apps that help you.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, we make sure that our kids see. My wife will actually tuck the cell phone underneath the table and calculate the 15 or 20%, depending on how good a service and what we feel like we're going to give. But the kids see that. Now, whether or not they'll actually do that when they get older, I don't know. But your kids do have an opportunity to see what you're doing. It's whether or not they choose to pay attention or whether or not you smack them on the back of the head and say, "Hey, knucklehead, you might want to remember this for later."
They're also in that article too. They made this statement with millennials that they are incredibly more prone. If you're in a restaurant that gives you options for tip, like if you get a Red Robin or something, they have the computer screens now, and when you get to the section where you can pay yourself, whatever, and it'll give you options. How much do you want to tip? This is this much, this is this much, this is this percentage. Yeah. That demographic is far more prone to pick the lowest of those three suggested tips. One of the things too that, go ahead.
Oh, the other thing that I really hate is I don't know how it is around the rest of the country. I've seen it in a couple other states, but here at some of the restaurants, there's a forced gratuity. Like, it's automatically calculated into your bill. And I think that that's a crap thing.
Yeah, that's a load of BS.
Yeah, at that point, there's nothing to motivate your server. Like, I've had it where I've been at one of these forced gratuity things, and I call the manager over and tell him, "I'm not paying it because this was shitty service. I watched my food with 3 other tables sit in the window for 40 minutes before it was brought out, and then I had to ask the server to take it back because she was standing there talking to her boyfriend, who's another server there. Yet they wanted to force me to pay that gratuity." So I think that's another crap thing. And I don't know, it sounds like it's not only around here, but I think that's absolutely crap to have that.
We've seen it when we've been traveling in different parts of the country. And even if the restaurant's nice and it's everybody's hungry, pull the car over, let's eat, and there's no wait, and the food's decent and everything else, when there's that forced gratuity, I won't pay any extra, even if the server does a fabulous job. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I try to avoid restaurants like that. But for whether they're millennials or they're more mature people, if you don't want to tip, go to frickin' McDonald's. When you go to a restaurant, maybe you are just going to the local diner, or around here it'd be a Coney, for your hour lunch. You're choking down your food and you're getting back to work, like what Midnight said. In which case, you just leave your standard tip, but you're probably getting the same food every day anyhow. But when you're taking the family out, or when you're traveling, or when you're going to a restaurant that somebody suggested to you, you're going partly for the experience too. And that server, like was said earlier, is the face of the restaurant. That's part of the experience. So you tip based on the experience that you get. And I mean, if the food's bad, that's a whole separate issue. But still, you're paying for the let's sit down. Oh, it's nice and comfortable. It's nice and clean. They're very nice. They refill our coffee. They refill our water. Whatever it is. And you don't have to do any dishes or anything else. Yeah, you got to drive back and forth, but overall, you're there partly for the meal and partly for the experience. And maybe nobody's telling millennials. And maybe next time we have the kids, maybe I need to say this to my kids.
Well, and so another big thing, and I'm sure Midnight will agree with this too, that a lot of people don't realize, and I sure as hell know people in my age range don't realize it, is not only when you are tipping your waitress, not all of that is going to the waitress or waiter. If you ordered any alcohol, it doesn't matter if it was a beer or if it was a $10 shot or whatever it is, part of that tip is going to end up going to the bartender around here at that restaurant too. At least that's how it works around here. Yeah, so that's another thing to remember.
A lot of places are like that. Yeah, the tip then at the end of the server's shift, generally, I won't say generally. I mean, I can't speak for every other restaurant, but yeah, the server will do a percentage, and a certain percentage goes to the bar. A certain percentage of the alcohol sales goes to the bar, and a certain percentage goes to like a bar back or a bus boy or a back server or something like that. Now, some may think that it really depends on the staffing situation at the restaurant. Like there's a lot of times where we only run one bartender. We can get our ass handed to with one bartender, and that one bartender is moving. They're moving and shaking, man. And they're doing their own. We don't have a ton of bar seats. We have like 14 at the bar. So like 14 could sit plus stand, you have people that stand around the bar. That's enough to keep a bartender busy. And now you have drinks coming in from the restaurant too. And they're hauling ass. So that's where that comes from a lot, because now you do see different amounts sometimes for like bottles of wine in some restaurants. Ours, I don't think our servers split bottle of wine, because the bartender just grabbing it and giving it to them, and then they open it at the table and all that stuff. So that's not included. But yeah, that's right. That's what a lot of places do too, and it does. It keeps everybody. It's just like everything else, man. It kind of keeps everybody motivated. It's sort of the anti-salary in a way. At the end of the, when you're getting your ass kicked in your salary, like no matter what I do, I'm not going to make a dime more than I would have made if I was standing here doing nothing. Which is, you can't think about it that way because it'll drive you nuts. But at the same time, when you have the ability to work harder or work more or work better and make more, that's a hell of a motivator. Cash in the bank, man, that talks,
Well, that's the American way. We're not a bunch of communists over here.
Right. Yeah, true.
And
I agree.
My favorite part of tipping good is when you go back the next time and the time after that, they start fighting for you to sit in their section, because they know you're a good tipper, and then they work a lot harder.
Well, and one big thing I always tell people when they're talking about tipping, and most of the time it's when they're talking about tipping negatively, is look at it as any job you work where you have profit sharing or VCP bonus. Essentially, their tips are what your profit share check would be that month, or what your VCP bonus would be that month. So it's something that I try to teach people, is it's like, look at it that way. So that's what motivates them to work a lot harder, is if all of a sudden, hey, that tip was a $20 tip, as opposed to I got only $1 from this person. Did I do something wrong? Could I have done something better? It's the same thing when I get a bonus at work. Okay, I've been hitting this amount of rate every day consistently. Maybe if I step it up a little bit more, we could get a little more production, which makes my check go up a little bit more. And at the end of the day, that dollar sign on the end of that check or the tip is what makes that decision easier.
Well, and that's, as far as from the business aspect of it, as far as the restaurant to the employee, as far as teaching and motivating, suggestive selling, trying to get that extra, maybe that one extra drink. There's a lot of things that are obvious. As a server, like, don't let somebody's drink go empty. Wait till you get somebody's cocktail, especially cocktails. You get somebody's cocktail down to, 80% gone. Ask them if they're going to get another one. It's going to take a couple minutes at the bar anyway. You want me to put one in for you? If you let it go to zero, if you let it drain, that customer is so much more likely to be like, you know what? Nah, I'm done. I think we're going to get going. Whereas if you catch them at that 20%, 25%, they're like, you know what? Yeah, let's have one more. Suggestive selling. And I mean, they're not tricks. It's not trying to be slick. It's not trying to scam people. Not in our, not in our restaurant anyway. We push so much. I do anyway, when I do server training. I do a lot of the server training. I go through the menu with the servers and, and give them a lot of feedback and a lot of information as they're training. But honesty, I think, is huge. And a lot of places aren't like that. They're going to push certain dishes that are money makers. They're going to, or their high ticket items. Honestly, I can't say I don't care what you get when you come in, but the biggest thing is for you to get something that you're going to love so that you come back, and have a great experience, versus somebody that's like, I'm just going to sell these guys a filet because it's the highest item and get my instant gratification. People ask all the time. They see me walk through the dining room or whatever, and they're like, because I know so many of the guests by now, you'd be like, hey, what's good? I'm like, everything. What do you like? What do you feel like? Or people say like, oh, what should I get? Basically, I was like, well, what are the three things that you thought of when you looked at the menu? Because there's usually a couple that pop out, right? I say, what are the three things? And they'll give me three things, and I'll be like, well, you know what? That's our number one entree. But if you're not looking for that, this one's a little bit lighter. It's really good. I mean, I'm there to get people to pick the thing that they're going to love the most, so that they love us as a restaurant too. It's a big deal. So, the forced gratuity thing that you guys brought up. We do it with groups. We do it with certain tables, but we do waive things if people ask. We do make it known that it's there. A lot of restaurants aren't good at that. It's just there, and if you don't, sometimes people don't know it until they get the bill or they get the check or whatever. It's known up front that it's there. You can. And if somebody would want to fight it, or they wouldn't want it there, I'm sure that we would take care of it and just say, but the biggest thing as a business is to not let it get to that point. If we did our job, there's no reason for a customer to ever say, well, it's 20%. I don't want to pay 20% for this, or I don't want to tip 20% because it wasn't that good. Our job is to make sure that you never would even have that thought in your mind. So that's kind of a motivator for us as a restaurant to make sure that we're taking care of people. If there's mistakes, the first thing is get that food away from it. If you don't like something, or it's, we blow a temp, or something's not right, get it out of your face. Can I make you another one, or could I get you something different? And we got to get food in front of you that you like, as fast as possible, and save the day, save the night, as it were. So, anybody have anything else?
There
All
are
right, I'll chime in here.
there are such.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Gitzer. You probably got more.
No,
Delta
I was
thing
just gonna say there are such things. I've been to places where the servers bug the crap out of you every 2 minutes, and I don't like that either. I mean, they need to know that there's a time you let people eat, but you stay within visual range. But don't ask them every minute and a half whether everything's good or not, because that gets old after about 5 or 6 times.
Yep, and that's our policy is once you drop the food, you check back in 3 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes. 3 minutes doesn't sound like a whole lot of time, but 3 minutes is plenty of time for you to assess your food and make sure that it's done to your liking and that it's properly prepared or whatnot. You come back after that. When they need something, or maybe another 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. A good server is almost invisible to the table. They're there when you need them, and they're not when you don't. If you guys kind of like Mr. Deeds, you guys remember the movie Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler, the butler? Like the butler would be like way off in the distance, like up in the balcony or whatever.
How did he say it? He was super sneaky.
Very, very sneaky.
Yes.
Very, very sneaky. Very, very good. Yeah, that's all of a sudden they'd be like, "Whoa, he's right beside you." That's kind of how you want a server to be. You want to kind of you don't want to have to look around. If I ever see anybody in the dining room, like look around, that's a dead giveaway that something's going on. They need a drink. Maybe they may need a drink, or they dropped a napkin and they need a new napkin. It doesn't necessarily have to be something bad, but yeah, that's a big deal. That's a good point.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I've been places where they'll read your body language, and other places where they just stand there and they'll talk, and you're trying not to wave your arm in the air and yell "Gasson" or something. But I mean, here comes another train. I better shoot some video.
Well, and that's a big thing is in a lot of the restaurants and stuff like that. A lot of people, whether it be the chef or whether it be the server, they have to realize that you're in a game where you're in a business where you have to understand people's psychology a lot of the time and what a lot of those nonverbal cues are. So understanding the psychology behind those nonverbal cues can help you out drastically.
Yeah, just and that's being aware. Just like we talk about being aware as a gun owner. Be aware of your surroundings and where the way you sit and where you look around and you check people out and you're not walking down bad alleyways at night by yourself and that kind of stuff. A good server is like that too, where they're constantly in the dining room but away from the tables so that they're available without being annoying, I guess. Ape, you had something you wanted to say.
All right. Well, first thing, Squib, you weren't just dumping a body someplace since you're by the tracks now, were you?
That's an interesting comment.
Okay.
He's like, "Oh, this guy accidentally fell in front of the train. I better call somebody."
Okay. To get back to anyone out there who either can't or know someone who can't do percentage, it's very simple. Every $10 you spend, 20% is every $10 you spend, you leave $2. If your bill doesn't divide out to a nice even $10, round it up to the nearest 10 if the service was good. If the service wasn't all that good, round it down to the nearest 10. Simple as that.
There's also, what I do it, and I'm no math magician either. I feel kind of stupid when I try and do math sometimes. I'm pretty good at kitchen math, but other than that, one of the things I'll do to make it really quick for myself too is just move the decimal point one to the left, and that will be your 10%, and then double it for 20. and then I usually just I'll round up. I'll leave it at 20. 20 is pretty average for me. I'll round it up or throw an extra little bit on there if it's really good service. Which I
I'll
usually
be
do.
back in a couple minutes.
Have fun. But that's so if it's like, if it's $5, you move the decimal point to the left once. 10% is 50 cents. If you want to tip 20, then you double it and you got a buck. Double the tax can be a decent estimate too, Calavera says. He also said, I tend to scan the crowd at restaurants and had people think there was a problem. Ended up setting a signal. I think maybe even ended up sending a signal with the server that if the ketchup is at setting a signal that if the ketchup is at the edge of the table edge, then we would like to talk to the server. Worked well, and the owner thought it was a smart move. That's a neat. It's neat. I mean, there's definitely there's each restaurant too has its own policies on how tables are cleared, and how properly they're cleared, that kind of thing. But there's also one of the things that you look for as far as when people are done too is if you guys go out to eat. I can't imagine too many of us have this issue, but if you don't finish what's in front of you, I think we're probably all pretty good at finishing our food, right? That's what we do. But you got kids or you got, women that aren't like as, aggressively gluttonous as we are. If it's still in front of you, a lot of times the server will leave it until it's moved, until you move it, so that's one of the biggest signals is, you just kind of push the plate off to the side a little bit and they'll swing in and they'll scoop it up, box it up for you if you want to go or not. But that's a big one. Anything else?
Sorry, I missed part of that. I'm back. Lady upstairs has been letting her kids sit out in the hallway the last few nights, anywhere between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. and scream at the top of his lungs for over an hour. I'm not playing that shit anymore. It woke me up last night, so I walked out there and I finally confronted her on it because ever since she's moved in, it's been that way. And my landlords have yelled and bitched at her and stuff. And finally, I told her, I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I understand kids are a pain in the ass, but control your kids or I'm going to start calling the cops when it's after 11 p.m. and between 1
Hey, I got a duck.
Wait. She's leaving a child alone in the hallway with the door shut and just letting the kid throw a tantrum until, it's quiet, and then she lets it back in?
Yep, that's essentially what happens, and I'm not playing that anymore. I'll sit there and pound on your door until you answer it if you're going to leave your kid out there, because guess what? You're pissing me off.
Like letting your dog out or something. It's a kid, for Pete's sakes.
Yep. And a eight apartment building where they're not the only ones with kids, where most of the kids are under the age of 10. So parents have already fought to get them to go to sleep, and now you've got this kid yelling out there. Like, nope.
Midnight, wait till you got 4 kids and they're all different age groups and they're all fighting and
I work too much. I don't even have time to make kids. What are you talking about?
Things can happen in your sleep, man. Things can happen in your sleep.
That's the only time.
I'm finally at the age of reason, apparently, according to the wonderful state of Wisconsin, that I can go get myself snipped and I don't have to have Megan's permission till we're married next year. So I may have to move on that one.
You actually, I didn't even know. Is that a thing? You have to have permission from your spouse?
You've got to be, I think, over the age of 25 for most doctors to do it, because they don't want you to change your mind later, and then there's not always a 100% chance a reversal surgery will work, not to mention it's a lot more work, it's elective, so your insurance may not cover it, that sort of thing. But nowadays it's a in and out, outpatient, there's nothing to it.
Yeah, in the state of Wisconsin, you have to be 26 years old, and if you're married, your spouse has to sign off on it. Just like, because Wisconsin, the way that it's set up, it's just like when you get a divorce, it's all 50-50. Apparently, when you decide to get your balls snipped, that's considered 50-50 too, which apparently when you get married is 100% anyways, so.
Could she actually get one of your testicles in the divorce?
I don't know. I don't.
Just saying.
It's just like if I would have married my ex, and she had plastic surgery done, she had boob job and lips done and stuff like that. Like, I paid for all of that, and if we would have ever had to go to divorce, I would have flat out told the lawyer, I don't want any of them, or the judge, I don't want any of the money back. I want one of the breast implants, one lip. I want it in a jar. And seeing how that one would have went.
That seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. The Juice is out there. He said, did we vote people off the panel yet? I'm casting my vote for Night Strike 1. That's no good, man.
I don't know what his beef is.
Well, this is a food. We are doing a lot of food chatting tonight, so I mean, have some beef, I guess.
So he just, I guess he doesn't like, chats.
I don't know. The juice is loose.
Uh-oh.
Gunpowder's out there. What's up, Gunpowder? You got a link if you want to hop in here. Unless your kids being extra monstrous. Oh, that's right. We got Dad in here. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's got to watch some kids, huh?
Oh, hell no. Kids are asleep.
Yeah, I was wondering if, I know you're one time zone behind me, but I hope they're asleep by now.
I don't know, man. They're up partying hard sometimes and late at night, it seems like.
Yeah, there's some nights they're up all hours of the night driving us crazy, but yeah, they managed to get asleep. I got to think about 30, 45 minutes ago at least.
You got little ones, though. They don't really, like my kids are like, school's out. They're up till 5 a.m. now.
Yeah. She's out there being mean in the chat and everything. Tell you, man. Horrible. Can't believe you'd say something like that. That's not nice at all. So,
NSA pop.
We lost everyone.
Gunpowder done throat punched Tardot so hard he knocked everyone on mobile off the chat.
Punched you right off the internet.
Yeah, I think she NSA'd.
Those throat punches hurt. It took a while to recover.
So what I did for what I'm just as a food thing, today too, instead of doing like a bracket or a top 10 or anything like that, I thought we'd play a little game, and kind of call it "Shall Not Be in Fridge," right? And I have a list of, I think 10. I think I got 10 things there, 10 different foods. Gunpowder says, when have I ever been nice? I don't know. I'll let you know when I see it.
I feel like I've been striked.
What's that, Night Strike?
I feel like I've been copyright striked.
Shall not be in striked? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the panel, and let's just rattle off, think about the foods. They're not, it's not foods like prepared foods. It's foods like, ingredients or, individual, whether it be like pineapples or something, see if you can come up with a couple of them, and whoever comes up with the most of them or the most, we will call the winner. And you win nothing, just pride.
Hey, Fine Ape, I think I'm just going to send this kid in by your cousin Harambe if he keeps his shit up.
I find that horribly offensive. Not all of us primates are the same. He's a gorilla. It'd be like comparing, I don't know, I don't think we have too many people who are actually like bean poles on the gun channels.
Could you send one of your robots over there to help him out? Maybe you could which one is your robot holding anything tonight?
My robot. Let me
He got his revolver there.
Let me switch to the widescreen.
I was gonna say maybe I could just go get the explosives.
Yeah. He's holding a Brain Belt beer.
That's actually
Brain
a pretty
Belt,
good
huh?
beer too.
It is.
It's empty though. Sad
Well,
news.
I'm not going to leave a can of unopened beer sitting out warm and not Eurotrash.
Well, Midnight Range, now you have something to aspire to.
Yeah.
Being Eurotrash or being a fine ape?
Take your pick.
Or being fine trash or Euro ape?
There you go. So I have.
What about fine Eurotrash?
I don't know. Go onto a nude beach in Europe, you'll see a couple of those Euro apes.
No, Duhati didn't drink my brew. I just told it, here, hold my empty.
All right. So we will. Ape, we'll start with you just because you're on the left there. Rattle off some. Since there's 10 things, I guess don't go over 10, but you can guess as many as you want, up to 10. And what kind of foods you think should not be refrigerated?
Foods that should not be refrigerated.
Yeah.
Now, is this just storage or for just served cold or what?
Well, I guess.
Well, here's the thing, because like soup, obviously you just don't want to make a pot of soup, leave it on the stove and walk away and come back in a couple days and take another bowl. But cold soup.
Well, what I guess? Okay, I guess let me clarify. Okay, here I'll probably clarify this then. What foods do you not want to refrigerate because it can affect the quality of them? Does that make more sense? That's probably a better way to put it. What don't you want to refrigerate because it can make it hurts the quality?
Is it refrigerate and freeze or just refrigerate?
Just refrigerate, because there's tons and tons of stuff. Anything you freeze is pretty much going to hurt the quality of it. It's just a matter of how much.
Well, I'm going to say any kind of condiment that would normally just kind of survive on its own. So, I don't know, I'd say hot sauce or vinegar. No, Tardot just got throat punched again.
Oh, man.
Throat punch is real.
Even though surprisingly enough, despite Midnight's constant protest, I'm not a big fan of bananas, actual bananas, but I do know they just get a little ickier a lot quicker in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to put them in the fridge in the first place.
Well, I'm trying to okay, so we got hot sauce, bananas. Damn, I'm having a hard time about this. I don't think potatoes.
Hey, you sound like Rick. Potatoes.
Well, I don't think potatoes really really need to be refrigerated or any of that.
All right. How about coffee?
Okay.
Go Fifi.
Tomatoes.
Onions.
I like how you guys aren't going in any kind of order at all, and it's just a fucking free-for-all.
Avocados.
That's because of Night Strike.
So
I blame him.
let's go.
How about egg salad? That doesn't need to be refrigerated, right?
Egg salad is not an ingredient; it's a dish, you meathead.
Yeah, it is. You add hot sauce, you have spicy egg salad. It's just
Is this going to turn into our hot dog sandwiches or not conversation again?
So, Ape, do you have any more guesses, or are you sticking with that?
I'm just having a real hard time thinking of stuff that really shouldn't be refrigerated because that's usually where I get stuff. Or if it's not in the refrigerator, it's stuff you just add water to.
Mm-hmm. Stuff you put water to.
Yeah, add water, microwave for 4 minutes, let stand, stir in savory sauce.
There you go.
You know what? I'll go with rhubarb, but that's only because that stuff needs to be used like the same day or like the same hour you actually cut it.
Mm-hmm. You know you can't eat the rhubarb leaves. Yeah, that's why when you buy it at the store, it never has the leaves on it.
Bye. Shit, I got a patch of it out in my back.
Don't eat the leaves. It's poisonous. Make you sick.
So is the stock if it actually sprouts and leaves and then freezes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
They're talking about hot sauce out there. Yeah, hot sauce doesn't need to be refrigerated. It's got a ton of vinegar in it, which is going to keep it fine for, I mean, not indefinitely, I'm sure. I mean, everything's going to go bad eventually, but for as long as you would have it, I'm sure it would be fine. And putting it in the refrigerator probably wouldn't hurt it, but.
How about hardtack or saltine crackers?
Mm-hmm.
It's an ingredient. You can use it as breading or you can use it as a thickening agent or filler for meatloaf.
Okay.
Thank you, Juice. That's something no one needed to know. Now, do you put some biofreeze on that as well before you slip it on?
You like the chili balls.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, Gizzard. How many think you can come up with?
Bread.
Okay.
Let's see. What else? I mean, so many things have already been thrown out there.
Gunpowder said caramel sauce.
Caramel sauce.
What else was it?
Caramel sauce is going to go bad sitting out. It's got dairy in it.
That's true. That's all I can come up with off the top of my head.
Mr. Mystery Guest, what do you got?
I'd say tomatoes first because they get bad.
Okay. I thought somebody already said
eggs are better when you cook with them when they're room temperature, I think. Let's see. And of course bread, but honey. That doesn't have to go in there. Peanut butter. That doesn't. But you're saying something that's bad to put in the refrigerator?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you can leave like real butter out,
Right.
and things like that, but it's not bad to put it in. Okay. But parsley or any fruits, I keep them out. I guess they're not bad to put in there, but I don't know. That's about it.
Nice strike. Can you come up with any?
Yeah. Whole melons, basil, potatoes, onions, tomatoes. I said earlier, coffee, garlic. I'm going to say olive oil and bread.
Snowy.
It's gonna be like any unripe fruit is a bad thing to put in there. I remember getting yelled at for that at the restaurant. Basil and like a lot of fresh herbs, they told us not to put in there because it can ruin the flavor of them. And then the other thing that we would run into is if they were too cold when we'd go to chop them on the board, you'd lose a lot of the juice and stuff out of them. So they'd bleed. Honey's another one. Potatoes. bread. I know onion you're not supposed to put in there. Other than that, can't really think of anything, to be honest with you. I don't remember because we didn't deal with a lot of that, so I never paid attention.
Squib, you got anything different than these guys? Or any that you think about?
I'm going to say sesame oil and cereal.
Cereal.
We knew somebody who was stationed in Hawaii, and the humidity was so high there that they would put their boxes of cereal in the fridge with the milk. When they got back to the mainland, they were so used to doing it that they were still putting their boxes of cereal in the refrigerator.
That's odd. I mean, because when you put it in the fridge, that's gonna kind of make it stale quicker.
He sounds like a good candidate for the Space Force.
I don't know. Right. We were staying with him. We were staying with him during a hurricane because they were further inland, and it was, more or less higher ground. And I wanted to make myself some cereal for breakfast, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And they're like, "It's in the refrigerator." And that's when I got the story. And okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an odd one. I mean, once it's open, if you have it in the fridge, the refrigerator's being cooler than the room or whatever, you'd think the humidity would be high in there and it would make it stale.
The humidity is pretty high on the North Carolina coast. So, I mean, I've never been to Hawaii, so I don't know. But, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Space Force, you know what I just thought of? We're actually going to have literal space cadets now in our military force.
Why is that?
Space Force will have space cadets at some point.
So you want to be a space cadet?
I'm just sitting here thinking about that, and I know it's kind of off topic, but I can't think of anyone who would really jump up and leave their current military career to go jump over to that one,
Sure, if they offered him a promotion to do a lateral move.
If they were accepting volunteers, I'd volunteer.
Yeah, that's one I don't think I'd volunteer for.
If I recall, don't we already technically have a Space Force? It's part of the Air Force. What is it?
Yeah.
It's not.
They monitor stuff. Yeah.
That's just like a lot of people don't realize NASA has their own SWAT teams and their rescue and recapture teams. And they go through more strict training than what the FBI's HRT teams go through, because I've done training with them.
Where are they going to get the astronauts back from?
The Men in Black.
The rescue and recapture teams aren't necessarily to get our guys back. It's to recapture, say, for example, say somebody does take over a spacecraft as a terrorist or something like that. They're going to be the people that go in to get it back. And it's the same thing with if they take over a NASA-controlled facility. They actually have the legal jurisdiction to go in first to recapture that building. That's the thing is, like, with SWAT teams and everything else, there's a lot of different terms, but essentially it's all encompassed under the same mission goal, is what I would say. There's certain parts where it's a little bit different, like SWAT teams and TAC teams are going to be a little bit different, but RRT teams, HRT teams, SWAT teams, they all essentially have the same use or same goal, just different specialty training.
So would that work as a pickup line at a bar? I'm with SWAT. NASA SWAT.
Space.
You got two acronyms right there.
I'm a Space Ranger.
Well, yeah, we'll probably have Space Rangers instead of Space Marines, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, because all we have to do is get our once you have carriers for a little robot craft, anyone that you'd have to actually go out and, oh, Russia took over the moon. Those are Space Marines. They'll just be nukes from orbit. That's all they'll ever be.
Well, as long as we don't have to fight off giant bugs on other planets, right?
Didn't they make a Call of Duty game based around some weapon getting taken over from a supposed space force and somebody hacking it and destroying 3/4 of the damn planet? I thought that would have been like a little bit of a precursor warning.
More of a Battlefield guy.
Calaveras is asking, Snowy, would the rescue recovery team be used if our people came down and had to land in foreign territory? I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Who's ever closest?
No,
It'd
they
be
have cyanide
Marines.
capsules for that.
Yeah, so RRT team, depending on if it's military or it depends on the mission sensitive portion of it, but yes, essentially the RRT team, as far as I'm aware, would be one of the ones that would be sent in. Some of the security contractors around here that would that I know of that would contract out for that type of work, they would call that a shock team. So essentially, it's a quick reaction force that would more so do that than what the rescue and recapture team would do. But it all kind of varies between what the actual writing on the ground is.
All right. Okay. I mean, I don't really care. This is a game. Who wins? I think we're gonna have to give it to Snowy. Snowy had the most right answers compared to the 10 that I have. You win nothing. Congratulations. It was just it was just kind of a different way to talk about something. So yeah, I had 10 things. 10 things that are probably 10 of the most affected. And pretty much everybody got bread. I mean, that's something that's, I know years ago I knew people that kept bread in the fridge, and that goes stale in like a day. It blows. I guess it's still okay for toast and stuff, but as far as bread goes, it's pretty horrendous. Just gets really stale. Potatoes can get weird. Having potatoes get too cold actually affects the starch. It starts to turn the starches into sugars, which if you go to make like a mashed potato out of them, they'll just turn out like wet, sloppy, messy. They just they don't have any texture, or they don't have any body to them. Bananas is one of the biggest ones too. Bananas and bread are probably the two biggest ones. Bananas get really dark really fast, and they get soft. If you have bananas that you want to hold for a long time or use them for like banana bread or something, you can throw them in the freezer. The peel will turn really, really dark brown, but the inside will be okay for something like banana pancakes or banana bread, or even banana pudding or something like that. That's not bad. Nuts are another one. Nuts absorb moisture like crazy, and they get like really weird and soft. Nuts should always be kept, room temperature in like a sealed container. Nuts will go rancid too. A lot of people think that nuts are going to hold indefinitely. If you've had, whatever kind of nuts, any nuts in a container, give them a sniff. Sorry, 2.5 hours of sleep last night.
Are you advocating that people should sniff their nuts?
Yes, always. And you'll smell like a, kind of a stale kind of smell from them. Mad Sexy is saying, any tips on shark steak with whiskey? Yeah, drink a bunch of whiskey and then eat some shark. It's good. Shark's tasty. What about peppers? Too Hottie says. Yeah, I keep peppers in the fridge at work. Stone fruits, like nectarines, peaches, plums, are really pretty bad in the fridge. It breaks down the texture a lot. They get really soft and mushy.
Avocados are another one that does that too.
Avocados are okay if they're very ripe, but they will ripen. They will not ripen in the fridge. Bananas, avocados, stuff like that. If you want to help them ripen, put them in a paper bag and wrap it up. They give off carbon dioxide, which helps them ripen.
That's why you're supposed to separate them, right?
Well, that's why you're supposed to keep them like a paper bag.
Yeah, you keep them together.
But if you separate them, they won't ripen as fast.
Right. If you want to ripen them fast, then if they're not ripe, you put them together in a paper bag, let them sit at room temperature, and that'll help them ripen. Coffee's another one, just because it absorbs a lot of flavors, and the moisture is not good for it. Squashes get real mealy. They lose their crispness super, super fast. Tomatoes, the same thing. I mean, tomatoes are fruit. Just like we talked about fruits earlier, they get like mealy and they will not ripen in the fridge either. Same thing. Paper bag, room temperature, helps them ripen. So I just thought, kind of a neat segment. We're going to talk about some food.
I know, Gizzard.
What?
I think if you're keeping ice cream in your fridge, if you get it right from the store and it's solid as rock, I think leaving it in the fridge for a couple hours.
Hey, now I have actually taken ice cream if I need to put a scoop in there and it's so hard it won't go in there. I've been known to put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That'll usually just get enough of the chill, maybe 15.
Being from the dairy state, if you buy ice cream from a store and it's rock hard, stop buying shitty ice cream and buy something better.
Yeah, there is something to be said for that. Ice cream that's really, really dense. And there's a happy medium, because a lot of really inexpensive ice creams are also really, really light, because the more air that you can whip into it when you're making it, the bigger volume you have, and it fills up a bigger container, right? But it's also too little air, and then you've got like this brick of really super dense ice cream, and it's just doesn't have a good mouthfeel. It doesn't seem creamy. It's whatever. So yeah, a good company will have a good medium for that. So let's I think we've given plenty of time for people to go over and leave a comment. I don't know if we've had any new ones.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to leave for a minute and go clean up my refrigerator now.
Yeah.
Look, it's a very simple thing. If you open the fridge and it scurries away, probably shouldn't be in there.
Well, that's just like a lot of people don't realize the tricks of getting the smell out of your fridge. It's like everyone goes out and buys either these little baking soda packets and stuff. Literally buy one of the big containers of baking soda, stick it in a cheap $1 plastic cup, and just set it somewhere where it's not going to get knocked over, and that'll continuously pull any smell out throughout the time, and change it once a month.
Yeah, it definitely helps for sure. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people will just get it, like you're saying, and open up the box or whatever. If you have like something wider and flat, wider that you can use, like a little Tupperware or whatever, it will work faster.
Because it makes a crust on that, doesn't it?
Well, it's hard because it does absorb the moisture too, and then it'll get like a crust on it. But yeah, I'm not sure if the humidity helps absorb or not. I'm not really sure. So
I think they actually make like fridge packs where it's basically almost like a desiccant bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the regular box, except it's got like pull tabs on the long side or on the flat sides of it. You just pull them back, so like the whole box is basically open to it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm sure somebody out there has some sort of gadget, So we got I got the comments over here on my phone. What I'll do is go through and see who guessed it correctly. But in the meantime, Mr. Guest, would you like to? Do you think you can? Can you just switch your screen, or how do you switch your whatever
icon?
Your icon.
To see, I just exit call and then do that, or
Okay. Yeah, I guess that'd probably be the best way to do it. Exit call and then come on back in. We'll see who this joker is. And Gary, your guess of Atypical Jake when I said AJ was a good guess.
Yeah, well, it's just a wild ass guess, but hey.
Huh.
I hadn't thrown one in, so I thought, well, I'll throw it in at the last minute. If it's right, it's right. If it's not, it's not. And it's not. So,
I finally found a new gun I want to buy, a new pistol.
Oof. Well, that's not hard to do, though. I don't know why you'd be surprised about that.
It's actually really hard for me because a lot of the stuff people get excited about new gun wise, I don't anymore, and I don't know if it's because I've bought and sold so many, or if it's just I've shot so many that it doesn't surprise me anymore. But I had never seen a Ruger BSR 9C previously, but one of the local gun shops posted on the forum about a month ago.
That's the carbine, right?
No, it's a handgun. It's a compact 9mm handgun.
PFR. What am I thinking of? RF. There's a carbine out there that's like an RF something or other. AP?
Yeah, I know what you're
what
talking about. I don't remember that off the top of my head.
It's a bullpup, I think.
You're not thinking of the Kel-Tec RFB family line, are you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Where they got like the regular one, then like a slimline 223 or 5.56 version, or a hunting version with a 20-inch barrel.
I don't know much about it other than I've seen it's a bullpup, right?
Yeah, that's what that one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this BSR, I've never actually seen one in person, and I had never seen one in like a gray color, but they posted one that they've got there for sale. $350, and it comes with 20 rounds of the G2 RIP ammo, which I wouldn't shoot anyways, but
yeah, that's weird. That shit's pretty weird, man.
I've done ballistic testing on it. It's nothing more than a gimmick. We literally tested it out because they had applied to be our carry ammo for the security contractor, and it's nothing more than a joke. It doesn't have any extra penetration. It doesn't have any extra. It doesn't do anything extra, so it's pointless to have.
I knew it. It was Night Strike.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that when he popped in. That explains so much.
Yeah, you might have to send me a link.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's cool.
It's just not showing up on there.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
It was Night Strike anyway. You don't have to go through all this if you don't want to.
I'm actually surprised that he can control and moderate his voice that way.
Yeah.
Makes me kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's not outlaw. He can.
Oh shit! It was gunpowder. That's even more disturbing.
No wonder her kids are so bad. She can't watch them. But dump. Psst.
Wah, wah, wah.
You got the look. Oh.
You got the look.
Uh-oh.
There he
Ladies
is.
and gentlemen.
It's Patriot in the Dark. He's our man. Where'd your icon go? Say something.
Sorry.
There you go.
No big surprise, huh?
I don't know why it's not showing. Your icon's not showing up.
Yeah,
so
really low.
I see it.
I see it. Something wrong with your computer.
I see it.
yeah, probably. Okay.
Put your glasses on, old man. You can see it.
Yeah. Well, when I click on it, it's not showing up on my computer for some reason.
I would shave the mohawk first, but
There you go.
okay, put the glasses on.
Oh, and he's gone.
Scared
Thanks,
him
you guys chased him away.
Come back.
Did that work?
Oh, he came back as.
You're real quiet. Did you like bump some settings?
Did you pull a midnight range while you were gone?
What does that mean? That could mean so many different things.
Not being able to run the technology.
Oh,
That's why you were 20 minutes late today.
Yeah, yeah, I was pissed off. I couldn't get these goddamn earphones and what sucks is I don't have any headphones that have the regular plug-in jack. They're all they all have the lightning port, so I was screwed.
Oh, that's okay. 2 weeks ago, I got
problems jacking in.
Yeah,
2
right.
weeks ago, I had to have Sarge on my show in the middle of it because my computer said "fuck you," and I had to restart the damn thing. Sarge is sitting here hoping I show back up for my own show. It was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, well, Sarge had that problem of just miming out when he hosted shows.
Yeah, yeah. This stuff was great this week.
Yeah, his stuff was great this week because I helped him figure out his situation, because what he was doing is he and his family live on a large property, and they've got internet to one house, but not his house. So they were trying to extend Wi-Fi from one house to another, and then extend that signal even further. And he kept the reason why he kept miming was because he kept dropping connection to the Wi-Fi. Which is why, if you're doing any sort of live streaming, I would recommend you guys use wired internet instead of using Wi-Fi. I mean, if you have to use Wi-Fi, okay, use Wi-Fi, but be prepared for disconnections, with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, normally I'm running wired. The biggest thing I have right now is I've literally had this internet company now. I have, I believe, 5 or 6 of their provided modems sitting in my house because every single one of them doesn't work.
Also, that's another thing. Some people they get a modem from their ISP, and it's got a built-in router, and they think that that's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm telling you right now, if you get a modem, it doesn't matter whether it's DSL or cable, get a dedicated router, because if you're telling one device to do 2 things okay, it's going to do 2 things okay. Where it really should only be doing one thing great, which is giving you internet.
Well, I think we only have about 8 minutes left because Outlaw just showed up, so that means we're going to get hit with a community strike pretty soon.
It's been real. So I'm looking back through the
a feud or something.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Guess Who is...
We got C4 Defense and Double T, Travis Tueman. Travis won it. So Double T and C4 are the ones that guessed it first correctly. So they both get a swag pack, right? Now we need to figure out some stuff, because when you look in if you look in the comment section, people were really indecisive. Like Vandalistica says, that's crazy if it's Patriot. I knew he teaches blind people how to use computers, but I didn't think he was blind himself. Should that count as a guess?
Well, see, Angelina threw it in the chat last week that she guessed
but she didn't put it.
Patriot.
Yeah, but she didn't throw it in the comment section.
No, but that's other people picked that up.
Yeah. Well, she was one of the ones that knew. So.
Bump up your volume, Patriot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can do it too.
Okay.
Find the proper barrel switch.
Is that better? No.
Hold on,
it's
here.
about the same.
Why is he not showing up on the right-hand side here? Oh, there it is.
Was I hiding?
Yeah, I had it covered. Here, I'll turn you up a little bit. There we go. Hey, you gonna say something?
Sure.
It's still pretty low. I got you up all the way. I mean, it's not horrible, but that's all right.
I call it operator.
He got a hold of your earbuds or your headset midnight.
Yeah, I know.
Your LG.
Yeah. I took them back. I returned them back there. You didn't buy a set of used earbuds today, did you? So one of the first correct, well, I guess the third one, which would be, was Social Ghost. He guessed it. And then Roosted puts a guess in.
So what the hell was your hint, AJ? What's that?
Alex Jones. Alex Jones is a Patriot.
You're a dick.
That's
I don't want them putting chemicals in the water that turn the frog.
Is this chat PG-13?
It was.
No.
It hasn't been since the first 15 minutes because Midnight was the first one to say
Brady or something like that.
Hey, that's a good hint. If you watch like AC90, like chats with like AC97 and those guys in it, they're always screaming that.
Fucking jerk. That's a terrible hint.
No.
That's a great hint. All you got to do is watch chats. You'd be good. So Roosted says it could be Patriot. Have you seen how bad his Instagram photos are?
Ouch!
He says if he's not blind, I'd be surprised. Hope you see this. This is not my answer. Just a shot at my buddy. So he literally said you, and then said this is not my guess. So I guess we can't count that. You guessed and apparently did wrong. And then Rich White guessed you and then changed it and said Steven Johnson. I don't know who Steven Johnson is, but other people guessed that too.
Well, now that we know, it actually makes sense. Patriot in the dark.
Yeah.
If you look at the profile on Gun Channels, my original was a shot in the dark, and sometimes that shows up. I don't know if it's just on my side, but yeah, that was my original, was a shot in the dark, and then I changed it.
So I got one correct. We got 3 correct guesses, and I got a couple of people that are on the fence. We just have to. I mean, I guess we could all decide which one is more worthy.
If they're on the fence, fuck them.
That's true. You know what? Let's give one to all three of these people. We'll give it to Social
not
Ghost.
Consent, that is a crime, sir.
We'll give it to C4.
If someone's
Social
on the fence,
Ghost.
I wouldn't do that. It's a good way to get splinters.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, Night Strike, I officially like you better than you because they followed me on Instagram.
So what do you think, Patriot? What do you want to do? You want to just give 3 swag packs and then let G have the rest of it for Gun Channels? Or we could.
Who was the people again?
Social Ghost, C4 Defense, and Travis T, Double T.
All right, and there was nobody else that.
You mean other Travis?
That's Travis the Third. Yeah.
Wait a minute, Travi?
Technically, no, because.
Yeah. Well, it used to be Travis P11, and it used to be, other Travis, which is
right
that range,
okay,
right,
or Travis number 2, and then we had Travis T, so it was other Travis, and then another Travis, was it Travis Great or something like that?
Yeah, Travis is Great, who then changed his to Travi Collective. That's him. Yeah, there was 5 at one point. I forget who the other one was.
There were.
Yeah.
So the Travi Collective is real.
Don't forget Gizzard Travis.
That's true. That's right. What are you saying, Patriot?
So there's 3 that were definites, and then was there anybody that even mentioned it and changed it?
Yeah, there was 3 others that kind of mentioned it. Vandalistica said that's crazy if it's Patriot, but he didn't really guess Patriot. And then Roosted said it could be Patriot, but then he was just giving you a hard time, and he said this is not my answer, just a shot at my buddy. Okay, so technically, kind of didn't. And then the other one would be Rich White. He said the Patriot in the dark name would make sense if it were him, but I don't think it is though.
All right.
So
all
probably.
Okay.
What's that?
Listen, you could do the first 3, right?
Yeah.
And then there's an extra 3.
Yeah. You want to just pick between them?
That's my math. No, just
Yeah.
do them, all of them. Have them all send it in. I'll just send G more.
Well, we don't. I mean, I'm gonna hit him up
No.
too.
Well, that's yeah. So there's that'll be 6, right? My math when I'm not.
We could do. Yeah, we could do it. That would be
well,
a $20.
They took the effort, so they actually put it in there. I mean,
that'll be like a $20 swag pack for everybody if we keep it the way we're doing it now. So I think that's cool.
Well, So.
Or we'll figure it out. I mean, it's no big deal. It's up to you. It's your
6 guys. Have them send it in to you or whatever.
Yeah, I'll hit them up.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
They took the effort, you know, and then of course with me tricking everybody with.
Absolutely. No, that's cool, man.
Guesses, but...
We'll or we could do 2 different tiers. We should do that. We could do 2 different tiers. You guessed it, you get a little better pack, and if you're one of the other 3, then you just get an empty envelope with G's signature in it, and that's good enough. That's all you get. A little bit of.
That's good if you get something signed, as long as you don't throw it in a pack of stickers you send to Rick to give away.
There you go. There you go.
I found that today when I re-listened to his yesterday's chat, the Saturday. One of the leprechaun stickers I accidentally stuck in there was actually my daughter's sticker, but
Nah.
So
I'm sure Clover can get you the one that was signed by Clover.
I think he did send me one. I think he sent
me
another one. So
yeah,
she actually took it, and I don't know where it went. So she has her sticker now. So.
Well, Grim showed up and scared Gunpowder away, so we got that going for us.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Is that who dropped? Oops.
Yeah, yeah. You showed up, and she ran out of here like the place was on fire.
Hey, Grim. Gunpowder's the only person in the world that would throat punch the Grim Reaper and get away with it.
He doesn't have a throat.
She had her chance.
She had her chance in Tulsa, right at the J.M. Davis Fire.
Hey, I was nice to her.
Well, yeah, for like a minute.
He was nice to Night Strike too. You tried to get him some pizza.
Yeah, I know. He refused the fresh cheese pizza. I tell you.
You know,
some things you don't do this way, like for free pizza.
Ungrateful bastard.
See, I deliver good things at night.
That's right.
Instead of striking at night.
Is that where babies come from?
Gunpowder's back.
No.
Nope.
Now talk shit about her.
Yeah.
I bet she'll kick your ass.
Oh, y'all better not be 14
of
shit.
them. Yeah. Outlaws talking shit. You better throw punch that guy.
No, because you can't throat punch him. Otherwise, he'll declare a family feud on your family. And,
Oh my god!
It'll go downhill from there.
Listen, I don't like half my family, so go right ahead.
That makes it no fun. If you don't like your family, then it's disqualified.
No, that makes it even more fun.
Listen, I'm in a feud with most of my family anyway, so take a number.
Yes, wow.
Now, seriously, what y'all talking shit about?
Nobody's
They
talking
said, said Grim scared you off when it came in here.
Yeah,
They were blaming it on me, and I said it wasn't.
Man, I've hung out with Grim. He ain't scary.
See?
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
I gotta be honest.
Scared.
She's right because Grim was still shorter than me.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, listen, Night Strike. Don't be talking shit about my Grim. I will throat punch you again.
Why is Night Strike even on here? Shouldn't you? Isn't it past your bedtime?
Yeah, motherfucker wouldn't stay awake up in Tulsa, but his ass stays awake on freaking YouTube.
You know what? You got a point, Gunpowder. That's true.
And you wonder why her kids swear at her.
You know what? Fight me, okay?
I'd rather not. I'm afraid you're going to rip my teeth out if I do.
In my defense, I was in a different time zone.
Good thing you have bananas.
Come an hour different.
If you don't have any teeth, it's a good thing
an
you
hour
like
later.
bananas.
You should be up later.
That's right.
Night
I'm
Strike.
used to it.
I just like to
No
sleep, right?
excuse.
Okay,
It's
it
He
going
was
to
just
work.
hoping Gunpowder would bring in the warm bottle and tuck him in.
Tuck them in.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm going to clear all this up right now.
Don't worry,
Uh-oh.
Gary did it.
The
Here we go.
reason Night
Gary
Strike,
opened the door.
Penicillin will do that.
the reason Night Strike went to bed so early in Tulsa was because he was afraid people were going to pick on him.
What do you mean pick on him?
And instead of dealing with that, he just took his ass to bed.
What the fuck ever? He was scared I was going to throat punch him, so I throat punched him. We got it over with, and then we hung out. That's how it went. Since you weren't there, hush it.
General Relativity just left a comment over there. It says Patriot in the dark. He finally figured it out. Sorry, you don't win.
And the last horse crosses the finish line. Here's your participation reward.
Yeah, 3-legged horse just drug himself across the line.
Hey, you didn't close the comment section, did you? Hey.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess I didn't close it. So for till the end of time or my channel gets shut down, we'll have to be dealing with people guessing.
I mean, if you want your channel shut down, I'm sure with this panel we can make that happen tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure Google's looking at it right now. Like just they got their hand over the button, just waiting.
Oh, don't worry. We can knock this out in like 15 minutes.
Just give me and Snowy the panel for about a half hour. We'll take care of it.
No, just send a link to Biker Bob. This thing will get shut down in 4 minutes flat.
No, because I've had Biker Bob on my channel for an hour and then it got shut down.
Yeah, but that's your channel. Your channel already goes down the rabbit holes.
But Outlaw, put you, me, Gunpowder, and Bob in the same room for less than 5 minutes, whichever channel we're on, that's shut down.
That's like a death sentence for Bob.
Well, he feeds his calluses to his dog.
Ew.
It's horrible.
I almost threw up a little bit.
I was going to say, I don't think it's calluses. Maybe it's his herpes that he's picking off.
Oh my god. I'm going to throw up.
Take another deep breath of your cigarette, Gunpowder.
Hey, somebody has to lick his sores.
And see, here's the thing. As bad as that was, the conversation we had the night before with Bob was even worse.
That was
Yes. He was talking about doing some interesting things to some farm animals.
Were they your sheep?
Oh, yeah. I saw you recently added onto UHub.
I thought it was Goat Hub.
So he was doing
Goat Hub.
Farm animals, what you do to your cousins, Outlaw?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, guys. Travis, what do you have planned for tonight other than us taking over your panel?
That's it.
That's
I was
it.
gonna go take a nap while you guys. I was gonna go take a nap while you guys had at it.
Now, were they in the clean sheets or in the slightly damp sheets of your bed?
Or do you have a bracket planned for tonight? You always have. A bracket.
we did some sort of a game-ish thing. I mean, we can. If you guys have anything you want to bring up, we can do something. I don't care. It's fine. It's kind of a free-for-all at this point, you know?
Top 5 insults brackets on the Outlaw Hatfield. And go.
And go. Okay, here we go. We'll write them down. Whoop. All right. Everybody gets the Everybody in the chat gets it. We got 5 minutes.
Fuck all of y'all. Okay?
Everybody in the chat.
imagine.
Everybody in the chat, we get 5 minutes. Everybody in the chat, everybody on the in the panel, you give me one Ellis insult, and then we'll turn it into a bracket.
Cousin fucker.
Let me go
What
first.
was it?
Cousin fucker.
Okay,
I've never fucked a cousin.
that doesn't matter.
Knowingly.
Then why does your family tree go straight up?
I had nothing to do with that. That son bitch branches off everywhere, brother.
It does.
Oh, Too Hottie says hipster.
Thank you, Too Hottie. See, he says it with love.
I've got one. I'm going to steal this one from Ellis. Candy ass.
Candy ass. There you go. Yeah, that's an Ellis one.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Oh, now he's stealing it from the family's stick.
Roosted is asking Patriot, how do you do Instagram?
With a camera.
Yeah, I take pictures. You see them all. I set them up, and sometimes I have a helper.
Did you see Declan's video today that came out just not long ago with the shotgun?
No.
He was saying how he shoots shotgun. He puts it's a red dot on the top, but it's like an offsetted mount. It's offsetted to the left, so that way somebody can stand behind him and help him aim. Oh, that was pretty cool.
I got another one for the whole outlaw thing.
Oh, you got another one? Okay.
Yeah, copyright strike.
Ellis Degenerate.
That's only happened
Ellis
twice.
the Degenerate.
Ellis Degenerate. There you go.
Sorry, Patriot. I didn't mean to cut you off, bud.
No.
So, Patriot, you have a concealed carry permit. What do you carry?
A gun.
Right now, I carry a P238.
Nice.
It's better than the dildo you carry for protection, outlaw.
That's not for protection. That's for advertising.
Hold on.
That's not for protection, it's for erection.
You see this?
Different.
This looks like a dildo.
It looks
No.
relatively
No,
uncomfortable.
Midnight's got a picture of it on his show once.
Yeah.
No, see, that was not mine at all. That was Midnight's dream date.
Snowy said that you're the one that ordered it. That's when he was working at Amazon. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong.
No. I thought you were still working at Amazon.
No, that's a long story that we'll talk about afterwards because I could potentially have legal action pending against Amazon right now.
Well, I hope that works out for you.
I do too. My ass ain't ever gonna work again. You fuckers will only see me on a beach in Mexico.
As long as you're YouTubing live from there, I don't give a fuck where you go.
Really, Mexico? You're not going to step it up to some place where you're not going to get kidnapped for being a gringo with money?
I don't have to worry about that down there either. I have good connections down there.
Yeah,
I
and what
can
do you
get fun shit.
And what are you gonna do about your firearms? They kind of frowned on it down there.
They don't gotta know.
They'll let you have a 22.
Ew. Seriously, Graham?
If anything, I'll just keep my security contractor license up and running with Mexico, and then I'm allowed to possess firearms while I'm down there.
Just tell them you're always working, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could just go to South Padre Island.
Nah, if I ever get a good amount of money, I'll be gone for 2 months because I want to travel around and fish a bunch of different countries.
See, that's my dream. I want to go to South America and do some catfishing.
See, I want to do South America. I think the big trip we've got planned next year for after the wedding is we're going to go to Louisiana, and then we're also going to do Florida. Florida, I want to go do peacock bass, barracuda, and blacktip shark while I'm down there. Those are the three I really want to fish. And then go over to Louisiana and get some alligator gar. Because the only gar we can get here in Wisconsin is short billed.
I've actually caught a gar. Not one of those big alligators, but a smaller one.
Hell, we got gars here in Kansas.
I just
they're
want to
really
go
spread out in, like, the warm
alligators.
states.
Do we have any more insults for the bracket?
Do we have an even number?
I need one. I need one more.
Outhouse Hatfield. Let's see.
Is the
Outhouse.
Outlaw Hatfield?
Is the sheep fucker on there too?
No, it is now.
That would be Bob.
I mean, they looks pretty similar. Outlaw could be Bob's long lost kid. So
I doubt that. I knew my
Bob's
dad.
baby boy Ellis.
I knew my dad.
Bob Jr.
I think what he just said should be added to the
how many
insult
fucking
list.
moms, how many women have ever told a man, yeah, it's your kid, and then come to find out 18 years later it wasn't his kid?
I don't know, but I've only told one man that my kids are his.
Well, no, Outlaw's saying he knew his dad, and there's a potential he didn't really know his dad.
Oh, but believe me, I knew my dad. He was a son of a bitch. I knew him quite well. Not a man I have fond memories of.
I don't know. Mine was a sperm donor, and I've only ever met him. Actually, I've only ever seen him once since I was 6 years old. And that was the day he got busted coming back to Wisconsin with a bench warrant for escaping from fucking prison. Because he moved to Pennsylvania, they wouldn't extradite him back to Wisconsin. And mind you, my father is no genius. He had literally a week left in Huber, and he was free to go. All he had to do was get a job and pay child support. Week left in Huber, he decided, fuck this, and left and ended up running. So he had a bench warrant out since like 1997, came back in like 2014, and tried lying to the cops and all kinds of shit like that about who he was because he's got a twin brother, my Uncle Rick. And it got busted and ended up doing, I think it was 180 days in jail when he had 7 days left. And then on top of that, now he's paying all of the back child support for my sister and myself. Like, he had one job, stay out of Wisconsin permanently, and you come back.
Pick one.
All right, the bracket's all set up.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start with Ape on this one. The first round is you got a pretty mouth versus sheep fucker. Ape, which one is the better Ellis insult?
I don't know. It's kind of tough because you got a purty mouth sounds a lot more like something Ellis would say rather than be insulted by.
Although, when you think about it, if he would normally say something like that and somebody is saying it to him, you know the shit has really hit the fan. You know something has gone horribly wrong.
You're in a spot
when
where
he finally found a soulmate.
Big motherfuckers standing next to each other and they're both going back and forth. You got a real pretty mouth. Nah, you got a real pretty mouth.
That was the sound of me getting ready here.
I'm
ready for what?
You're gonna go with sheep fucker. Okay. Gizzard. You and George, what do you guys say?
George would like to say sheep fucker.
Okay, he would. Yeah.
George, I thought you was my buddy.
If you want George to answer for you, George can just go out in the chat and answer. That's fine. Grim.
Bad. Cheap fucker.
Yeah, that bad works too. That is, we'll say that bad versus slash sheep fucker.
Oh yeah, slash that beep beep beep.
Gunpowder.
She can't say it.
Oh my goodness. Sheep fucker.
Bad.
Yeah, I hope y'all are enjoying the hell out of this. I really am.
I totally am. I totally am.
I'm just glad.
I told you to bow out. He's not sing today.
Pull and pray. Night Strike.
I'm abstaining.
No.
Oh, come on.
You bastard.
Okay, I give my vote to Grim.
Okay.
Oh,
Sheep fucker it
definitely.
is.
Sheep fucker it is.
Yes.
Pull out. Oh, pain in the ass. Oh, hurts so good.
The fuck did I start?
No wonder our kids are so goddamn screwed up.
Speak for yourselves. I ain't got any.
See,
Thanks,
this is
Tree.
why I was talking about getting my dick snipped earlier, because at this point, fuck, if I'm starting this, I can't imagine what I'd teach a kid.
Snowy, no offense, but snipping your dick isn't what solves it.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
According to Midnight, I have 14.
Yeah. Kid's got like 7. He can field a friggin' football team.
I'm either going to have no kids or I'm going to just create an army. I want 50.
There you go.
Oh, but honey, they'll be our unholy minions of the night.
These little creatures running around. A bunch of little sleeveless creatures all over the place.
At least they wouldn't be half sheep.
Hey, don't talk about
Yetis.
Patriot, what say you?
My luck with the best bracket yet, huh?
Patriot,
I'll say
fuck
the
you.
pretty mouth one since I suggested it because I'm trying to stay clean over here.
It's too late for that shit.
He says you got a pretty mouth. That the only guy on so far that said that. Snowy, did you go? You didn't go yet, right?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it's going to be sheep fuckers. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Squib.
I want to vote for one I've actually used. Is goat fucker close enough to sheep fucker?
Yes, we'll allow it.
Okay.
Okay. Ellis,
Hey, you
which
notice how
one is
the
your
only
favorite? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you notice how the only guy that voted for "you got a pretty mouth" is the blind guy.
Blind guy.
Right, that's what I was gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say that actually. Ellis, which one of these two is your favorite insult?
You're kidding, right?
No, he's not.
No,
That's not one of the choices.
Strongly believe and hope that you have a sense of humor about yourself.
Oh, I've got a hell of a sense of humor about myself, but y'all can go fuck yourselves. Midnight's dildo.
At least
That's
there's no
not
sheep
one
in
of
there.
Not one of the choices. All right, we'll pass. Well, you can pass on this one.
You might as well give me a pass on all of them.
Okay, we'll pass you. Squib, you're up first on. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, dude, old sheep fucker all the way, right? Squib, I'm up first on this one. So this one is damn hipster, or you candy ass. I'm gonna say you candy ass. Squib.
What were the two choices? You broke up there.
Damn hipster, you damn hipster, and you candy ass.
Oh, candy ass all the way.
He thinks outlaw Squib thinks you got a sweet ass. Snowy, what's up?
It's gonna be candy ass.
Patriot.
Candy ass for sure.
He says it's a candy ass for sure. Yes. Night Strike.
Candy ass.
Mm-hmm. Candy ass is taking it. Gunpowder, do you like Ellis's candy ass?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with candy ass.
Mm-hmm. 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 All right. And Grim, kind of horrendous shit are you thinking now?
Nothing.
Because he likes that money. Money, cash, hose, money, cash, hose.
Bitch better have my money.
Beat me to it.
I mean, I wasn't going to refer to Outlaw as a hooker, but I mean, there's a chance some gay guy may like him down on the corner.
Listen,
Get on
he's got
with
to
that
work.
money.
He's got to work it to get that Chris Vector somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta do a little more than just wiping those dishes real nice.
Uh-huh.
Oh, holy shit, my
And-
Chinese food is still alive.
It keeps longer that way.
George, what say you?
Let's go with candy ass.
Candy ass is sweeping it.
Oh wow, he made that slower third. That's perfect.
Okay, banana breath, what say you?
First of all, right now it's beer breath, not banana breath.
Oh, sorry.
I
They
ain't
make
drinking
banana
Red
beer?
Stripe, damn it.
Oh.
Even though I've never had it, so. I don't know. Hipster Hatfield has a nice alliteration to it.
It does, actually.
Candy ass, it's more like, to me, it sounds more like the start of a chain of insults. Like, you candy ass goat fucking son of a bitch. Oh, and I just broke the fucking
Everybody just insane.
I'm going to have to go.
Job.
It's
Would a
just better
hipster be walking around with a Chris Vector, though?
If it was bedazzled, they would.
No,
Either
it's
that
probably
or
like
they
Get
were-
away with that
battle
Chris
worn
Vector,
ones.
you candy ass.
Either that or if they were wearing, sandals in winter or something.
That's your socks and sandals, yeah.
Hey, fuck you, I wear sandals in the winter. I don't
Yeah, I
give
was
a
going to say,
fuck.
wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
Sure, but don't you also wear a sleeveless T-shirt all year round?
And the
Yeah,
dude
and
don't own
short.
sleeves, right?
Yeah,
Literally,
that's
the
not
only
really-
time I don't wear shorts is when I'm at work, and if it happens to be like negative 40 out. Other than that, I wear shorts pretty much all year round.
Well, that's just being a crazy Wisconsin.
All right. Next is Ape, you're up first. Ellis Degenerate or good old you cousin fucker?
Ah, fuck, that's a real hard one.
Yeah.
My goal
I'm
is
gonna
to
have
get
to go with
the top
Ellis
two.
the Degenerate.
Okay. Good choice. Gizzard and George.
Let's go with Ellis Degenerate.
Mr. Grimm?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with the cousin banger.
Cousin Banger. Like Bangor, Maine? Okay.
Yeah.
Gunpowder?
Ellis Degenerate.
Mr. Night Strike.
Ellis Degenerate.
Patriot?
Can I have a write-in? Just put Ellie. Ellie.
Ellie.
Ellie.
Would anybody have any trouble if I changed this from Ellis Degenerate to Ellie Degenerate?
Well, might as well just go full tilt and just go Ellen Degenerate.
No, I just call him Ellie.
There you go. All right, I'll allow it. Snowy?
It would be the cousin fucker.
Yes, okay. Squib?
Degenerate.
You degenerate. Ellis, would you like to answer or no?
I think you tried jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. He's going to leave and never come back because of this.
Ellis, if you're trying to jump off your trailer, you got to find something a little taller.
Yeah.
Honey,
He
are
doesn't
you
live in a
there?
trailer, guys. Come on, be nice.
Hey, honey.
All right. I will. It doesn't really matter because the degenerate wins.
Ooh.
We should do this for everybody.
We totally should.
We should make this a weekly thing. This is actually something that's more suited for Ellis's show. He should do this on his late night show. He should start doing this and just pick members and just come up with different insults or nicknames.
The raunchiest gun channels member would be a good panel or a good bracket to have too.
Hold on one second, guys. Sorry.
Yep. Gotta go change it to depends.
It's got a text from the wife I had to deal with here. All right. Okay. Ellie DeGeneres wins. Next one, copyright strike versus fuck you and your telephone pole family tree. I think I'm first, and I'm gonna pick that one because obviously that's the one I came up with. And fuck you and your telephone pole family tree. I bet you Night Strike won't pick that one now. Squib.
I'm going with copyright strike just because it's shorter. It's easier to say.
All right, Snowy.
Copyright strike.
What?
That's my suggestion, so I gotta go with that one.
I see you're still going with this.
Oh, he's back.
We haven't even gotten to the second round yet.
Well, yeah, he had to go use the cream for the gift that keeps on giving, so he had to take a break.
So Ellis, Ellie Degenerate won that bracket or that one. The one that we're in right now is copyright strike versus fuck you and your telephone pole family tree.
And if it makes you feel any better, we're going to do this for everybody.
Yeah, Ellis, I think this should be something that you do on your show. I think your show is suited to it. It'd be really funny. You should do stuff like this, like either come up with like nicknames for people or insults or something like that. I think it'd be super funny because you do all those late night chats. It's all yours. Patriot, was that you? Next?
I don't know.
Here's to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Well, come on, it's the Gun Channel's roast.
Hey, come on,
I do the copyright strike.
Oh, that's not a bad. That's a good idea. We should do roasts.
Like the food or slandering people?
Yeah, because I don't think roasting Grim would be very appetizing. I mean, it'd be like all dry and bony.
Oh, you brain damage? The joking one.
And
Bones are the
can't
best.
roast Fine Ape either. Otherwise, we get a hairy ass.
You know what? That would be something that I would do on one of my chats is a roast.
That's what we were saying.
Have one of the guys show up every week or so, every other week, on maybe the Tuesday show. Which I'm changing the time on, by the way. I'm going from 6 o'clock to 6:30 with that. And do a roast.
You should. It's actually weird that nobody has done it. I'm sure somebody has had to do something like that, right? I mean,
well, I've got several interviews lined up over the next few weeks. So what I'll do is I'll take a look at the schedule and I will write one in and let you guys know about it. And if I can get somebody to come on, a guest that's willing to sit there and get roasted for an hour and a half,
Oh, I'm sure everybody would be. I mean, shit.
If it wasn't a Tuesday
For
show, I'd be
you,
down.
for you, honey, I will definitely be there.
And I know the very first guy we've got to have on to do this. G-Webs.
Oh,
yeah, talking about aiming high right there.
well, it's been nice knowing you.
Mr. Hobbit,
Work your
Red
way up to the
Dawn,
big league.
John has a long mustache himself.
I am so sorry. I think my schedule is going to be packed for the next 52 Tuesdays. I am so sorry.
I'm going to be sick that day, whatever day you're doing.
I got some summer school kids that need, teaching.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to be in the emergency room about that time.
I got
my kids are sick.
later that night.
You
I think
guys
I've got
all do
school.
realize that I have actually done a one-on-one with G-Webs, right?
A one-on-one with G-Webs and G-Webs getting roasted. Nope, I'm out.
He'd go for it. He would go for it.
Well,
Oh,
we all
I'm
know
out.
what's going to happen if on the Gun Show Loophole Tour Van Chat coming up next. If all of a sudden his decides to detour farther east.
Let's see. We can do G-Webs. We can do Ghost. We can do Clover. Of course, we're going to have to do Night Strike.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I get enough shit already.
What day is that going to be? I want to be there.
Yeah, I'll take vacation for that Tuesday.
I won't show up for that one. So.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, well, let's go to your house.
Hey, look. If I can deal with it tonight, you can deal with it at a later date.
That's true.
That's right.
Isn't that kind of like
It doesn't bother me.
childbirth? I deal with this now. You can deal with it in 9 months.
Right.
No. No.
The problem is you got to deal with it after too.
You do understand that he brought this up and he's changing the subject, so we're not doing the bracket, right?
No, I'm the one who came up with the roast idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Elsa's 10-watt brain cells can't think.
Ow.
I'm gonna head out. I'll see you guys later.
Hey,
What?
Hey,
Already?
get your finger out your ass. Stop
Come on.
The power's flickering here, and there's lightning outside. So
No.
So go find a metal broom handle, hook it up to your
Yeah.
computer, and start waving it around on your roof. Free electricity.
If it hits, you can go back in time. You might be
I
able to
don't
go
have
back
a
in time.
DeLorean, so I can't. And I don't have the flex capacitor, so I can't hit 88 miles per hour. And
Well, you've never
Go back
seen
in
Final
time.
Countdown? All
If
you
you
gotta
could-
do is
if
go
you
through a
could get a
storm
hold
and
of
get hit by
Matt-
lightning.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm too far away from any sort of battleship to be able to do that.
Never enough ammo has a flux capacitor laying around he will let you borrow, I'm sure.
Well, that's great. I'll see you guys later.
Later, man.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Candy ass.
All right. Ellie, degenerate.
So, Patriot, you did not go. I need your.
Quick, somebody order him a pizza.
Where's Alan?
I got it.
I've got his address if anybody wants to do that.
Ooh.
Not on my show. I don't want nothing to do with that shit. I don't need to get sued.
Hello, Casey's. Yeah, do you do cat meat?
Shall not be infringed.
Shall not be refrigerated. Okay, did Patriot give his okay, what were the choices again for
Yeah, we lost
Patriot?
track.
It's between copyright strike and fuck you and the telephone pole, your telephone pole family tree.
Yeah, the telephone pole. You can do that.
Good man. I like the way you think. Gunpowder.
I'm gonna go telephone pole.
Grim.
Strike.
Copyright strike. Uh-oh.
Give him that copyright strike.
I've only got 2 of those, by the way.
Gizzard and George.
Copyright strike.
Uh-oh. Ape. You can tie it up.
You said it is tied up, or I can tie it up?
You can tie it up, and then we'll go to the chat if you can tie it up.
Oh. Well, let me work this out. I mean, copyright strike, it is a nice, kind of succinct name, but fuck you and your telephone pole of the family tree is just a better opening for another chain of insults. So I'm going to have to go with fuck your telephone pole family.
Yep.
We're
going to the chat.
He's got the whole logic behind why he makes his decisions.
Well, you know, we got a pad for time every once in a while.
Okay, we'll give it a minute here. So you guys out in the chat are copyright strike versus fuck you and your telephone pole family tree.
Go with copyright strike because I'm trying to get my fucking at least 2 of my suggestions to be the top 2.
Roosted said telephone pole.
Yep.
Roosted, fuck you.
Vanessa says outlaw is awesome.
That's not a
Thank you,
choice.
Vanessa. I love you, darling.
Vanessa, you got something on your nose.
Yeah, that $5 bill will be in the mail as soon as the ink dries.
You don't have to be politically correct here.
Come on, Roosted and Vanessa are the only 2. Oh, Slim's here.
Slim says telephone pole for the win.
Fuck you, buddy.
Well, you know, Alice, if you would do that, that would add more genetic diversity into your family tree.
Not if it's Slim.
Not according to what Jan.
Whoa, wait, what are we talking about? Slim Pole? No.
Wait a minute. Are you assuming Slim's gender?
Yes.
I think they're assuming yours.
Vanessa still
once,
kissing ass.
Vanessa. And more of that cranberry
We
jerky.
got 3 votes.
George said
Telephone pole wins.
Go suck a bowl of dicks.
The whole bowl?
Yeah, every one of them.
Now, we talking like a little custard dessert bowl, or are we talking like a 5-quart stainless steel mixing bowl?
Oh, we're
Because
talking
either
about
you're
the
going to
mixing
have
bowl.
like a shitload of reels of needle dicks, or you're going to have like 1 or 2 very decent sized ones.
Turns out I'm on a diet, and that just doesn't fit with my new diet plan. I'm sorry.
All right. Telephone pole gets it, man. We're going for telephone pole.
There's 16 of you guys out there. Somebody could have helped me out a little bit. Fuck.
Vanessa tried her best.
Yeah, Vanessa was trying to help you out.
All right.
I know,
So
Vanessa's
we're into.
the only one out there that's got my back.
I mean, Vanessa's probably the only female out of there, so I'm sure there's 15 guys out there that are more than willing to help you out and help your back out.
That's what I was going to say. That's the first time a non-dude has ever had his back. All right.
Ouch.
So we're into round 2. So we're going. Now this could be a tough one. Sheep fucker versus candy ass.
Ooh.
Ape.
Damn it.
Kinky Sphincter's out there. He said, "Don't threaten me with a good time."
You know what? I'm just going to have to go all the way with sheep fucker.
Right. Yeah, don't hold back now, you know. What does George think?
Sheep fucker.
Is that from James Bond, huh?
Does whatever sheep fucker does.
Grim? Oh, you got some kids there to help you out?
Are they yours?
What?
Why don't you take a poll amongst your kids? Which one should win?
Grimm's got all of Outlaws Hills Have Eye-looking fucking children sitting next to him.
Hey, baby, you want a good time? Suck it for $1.
Oh my god.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Oh, that's my answer. I'm sticking
Which
to
one? What was?
it. Well, you're not watching the screen. I won't show you the other one. I guess
Oh.
where's Midnight at?
Who's your daddy? Gunpowder.
His beard does kind of look like that sheep a little bit.
Hey, let's try and keep it clean here, okay? Gunpowder.
A little late for that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with candy ass. I gotta throw it out different.
Let's trying to be fancy. Patriot.
Probably the sheep.
You gotta go with the odds, right? Snowy.
It's the sheep.
Squid. Baby got back.
This is what happens. I'm gone for 2 weeks, and then I
He has
call
lots
him
of heart.
sheep fucker, and then this.
That sheep had a lot of heart.
Squid, what do you want?
I'm gonna vote for the fucker.
You guys
Okay.
fucked up. You realize that, right?
We never
You just realized that?
Oh no, I've known it for a while. It's just
Okay.
tonight confirmed.
Yeah.
I have a
It's been
feeling
confirmed a lot.
Clover probably won't be promoting this show on his show.
Probably not.
So next round or next one, Ellie Degenerate versus fuck you and your telephone pole family tree. I am gonna go family tree because that's my baby. Squib.
I'm gonna vote tree this time.
Damn, Squib.
Hey, he shortened it to tree. Now I can deal with that.
Snowy.
Ellie Degenerate. Degenerate.
Mm-hmm. Patriot. Fuck you, man.
I said
Probably
Matt.
Ellie.
Ellie. Uh-oh. Gunpowder.
Degenerate.
What? Kick you all out of this goddamn show. Grim, what's up?
This is a tough one, man. But nevertheless, we will have our single tree here. See, look at that. Sprouts from the top.
There you go. Okay. 3-3 so far. Giz.
Degenerate.
Uh-oh. Ape. Man, we might have to go to the again. It's 3-4. Flagpole 3. Degenerate 4. We might have to go to the chat again.
Yeah, I think I figured out why Outlaw doesn't wear a tie anymore or anything like that. Someone caught a picture and done put it over here on the Google.
it had goat meat in it or sheep.
Lamb, you
a
mean?
gyro, for anybody that don't know, it's
You mean lamb?
whatever. It's sort of a. I don't know how would you describe a gyro?
Gyro is a gyro is
Pita sandwich.
It's a sandwich
Gyro.
basically with a pita. Yeah, like a sort of a flatbread, and it has usually roasted or braised lamb, tzatziki sauce, which is a cucumber sour cream based sauce. Usually some fresh veggies.
It's delicious. They are good.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, they're awesome. We had them on the sandwich bracket when we did the sandwich bracket. Ape, are you still awake?
And somehow a fucking hot dog got on the sandwich bracket.
Yeah, I'm still awake.
Because a hot dog is a sandwich.
Am I?
We can disagree about that. We can just agree on names that
I don't think a gyro is a sandwich.
What?
No.
Oh my god!
All right, we're getting derailed. Let's get back on track.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
quit
we're
trying
still
to
on
deflect.
Diversion
the poll
tactic.
versus the degenerate.
Yep.
That's the one. All right, I'm going to have to go with Ellis the Degenerate because it's what I use in the outro.
Okay.
I hope all of y'all catch herpes.
That's fucking rude.
No, that's rude.
No, I don't share the same sheep as you, so I don't think I'm.
Oh,
There you go. All right, we're down to the
But at
finals.
least you
This is
admit
it.
that you like sheep.
This is it. We're about to pick Ellis is the best not compliment. The hell's the opposite of a
Insult.
compliment?
Insult.
Yeah.
Most
Fucking
descriptive
tired.
term.
I'm so tired. It is Sheepfucker versus Ellie Degenerate.
I'm gonna have your
And-
wife smack you upside the head next time I talk to her.
That's
Hey,
fine.
Ellie, is your sheep named Portia?
She probably owes me a couple anyway.
Hey, does anybody see that the YouTube's locked on Snowy?
is it?
There you go.
Oh, Jesus, everybody's eyes are fucked now.
You've been looking at your phone, that's all.
Yeah.
It does that sometimes. It'll lock onto one person. Like we see it normal here because we're on the Hangout, but anybody in the audience, there you go. Oh, yeah, I think it's working now.
There you go. Thanks. So, Ape, Mr. Bananarama, what do you think?
Okay, so it's between Ellis the Degenerate and Sheepfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's weigh the options here.
Fuck you, mate. Damn, asshole.
No, thank you. I know where yours has been.
So if I wash my dick 1,000 times, would you suck it?
The only way I think you could get it clean enough would be with sulfuric acid, and something that small would just dissolve anyway. So, sure, go ahead.
Wow.
Oh, you dirty dick sucker.
Holy fuck, I'm sounding like Bob.
So is that your answer? Is that picture your answer? Should I take that as your answer?
Hey, I think I found his idea of a perfect threesome.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I don't know.
Well, I think would it just be easier for anyone to say, or for us to say, who's not going to vote for Sheepfucker?
No, I'm voting that way all the way.
I'm voting degenerate.
You are a degenerate.
Hey, you leave her alone.
Only because of Tardot.
No, I think she turned Tardot into a degenerate.
Hey,
That's probably more likely.
I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth? Okay. We'll skip you. Are we? Is anybody not? Is everybody gonna vote sheepfucker?
No,
Yeah, that's
pretty
what
much.
I'm voting for.
Yep.
All right, sheepfucker it is.
Well, now that that's over with, are you guys satisfied? Are you happy?
Yeah, we all got to be careful. He may write another story, and it may include all of us now.
Oh, it's coming. Actually,
Is that what you've been telling Dolly?
The next part of the story that I'm writing will have to do mostly with Alan B. Pro.
I vote awesome.
Gary,
There
talk
you go.
once. I can't see what the hell that thing says.
What?
For what? Ellis, there you are.
We got a gun pod on the side.
He's ready to go.
Get it out of
Get
your
them ready.
system, gentlemen.
Shit just got serious.
Yeah.
I promise you, each of you will have a day. Each and every one of you will have a day.
I'm sure.
Listen,
That's why I brought it up.
day
That's why I brought it up, man.
you want,
It's a
I
fun
will
show.
make sure my schedule is clear.
Yeah, you'll just have to do a special event with me where you do it on one of your late night weekend shows, because there's no way in hell I can do it on a Tuesday with a new job.
No, I'd do it on a late Monday night.
Unfortunately, I'm working Monday through Friday again.
Oh, well. Then I will arrange a special time just for you.
A special event.
Special Friday night.
Vanessa wants to make sure that you know that she voted awesome.
I know. God bless you, darling.
So how many people do you have in the payroll, or is it just her?
It's just her.
Oh.
You broke her tuning, didn't you?
No.
That's kind of personal.
Wow.
I've never touched her cooning, I have you know.
Gunpowder going off. That's on her.
You haven't. You've been using it all on the Fluffy and lamb chop.
Never touched her cooning.
I called the cops. That some bitch busted up my cooning.
You know, honestly,
He was putting hot loads through it.
I think I would call the cops.
I believe Outlaw when he said that he didn't break her cooning. He had it in the box. He brought it over to Night Strikes when he was out shooting. Night Strike looked at it and the thing just fell to pieces. Count him.
Oh, Night Strike was trying to clean it?
Oh, he just looked at it. It just went.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the sheep ran it over when it was trying to tell him no, but...
I don't know.
Oh my
Do
gosh.
sheep get that big?
All right. So, are we ready to shut this shit show down?
Now, this was a great show to come out.
Yeah, wow. Hey, we had a
This was going to have to be
excellent,
hid.
serious
Coming
show the other night, and now we have just this train wreck of entertainment.
I gotta go write a description for this show. It's like not safe for work, not safe for anybody under the age of 25, not safe.
And it is not my fault this time.
That's true.
Disclaimer, please do not listen over loudspeakers.
Tonight's guest of honor.
Well, it'd be roasting it with Midnight.
Yeah,
Prototype roast.
there you go.
Oh, yeah, the outfield roast. There you go.
Featuring the sheep fucker.
You know what? I mean, I don't give a shit. We could do it. We could do it on my show. It doesn't have to be on Ellis's show. I don't care.
Well, we can do it on
You guys
both.
can- yeah. if you guys want to, yeah, I don't care. I think it would be fun. I mean, that kind of stuff is,
it would be.
We don't have to do it every week. You don't have to do whatever, but yeah, let me know if you want to,
At least once a month.
Well, I tell you what we'll do. We will vote tomorrow night. I will have a vote on my channel, and we will find out who the first person we're going to roast is.
There you go.
And I will come up with 4 names, and out of those 4 names, I'll let the audience and the guys in the panel decide who's getting roasted.
Hey, it may be a benefit if you don't feel like getting roasted to have the fewest subscribers out of that group.
Yeah.
Or you could just start a new channel and just have it be Gun Channels Roast.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could do that.
Just make it kind of like there's so many people that are either hosts or that can either start one up or something like that.
Hey, we should do that to Ellis now and have a Gun Channels Blitz and everybody go and say Gun Channels Roast on his latest video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag sheepfucker.
Hashtag Sheep Lives Matter. Me too, bye.
Bye.
The things I put up with from you people.
Yes, you do.
Stuff you do for popularity.
You're a good sport,
I
Ellie.
love you, honey.
I love y'all too.
I gotta give him credit. He's still here and he's still laughing.
Yeah, Night Strike left and he stayed.
Yeah. How messed up is that?
Yoder says Ellis that he thumbed down this chat for you. Somebody did thumb down the chat. I don't know who it was. It might have been Yoder.
Probably Yoder.
I've got a very thick skin. Shit like this don't bother me.
That's why I love being able to give you so much shit, because I know you can handle it. Where I know there's some people that there's no way in hell I'm going to sit there and poke that bear. Cause
they get all sensitive.
If you can't laugh at
start
yourself,
making fuck you videos, and
if you can't laugh at yourself, then you've got a serious problem.
So, all right. Let's call it a night. Let's go down through here and give our outros a little say goodbye here, everybody, and we'll all go home. Well, I guess we're all at home. We're not like hanging out together, but we're probably all at our homes. Huh?
Closing time.
We'll all get going and get some sleep. Ellis, thanks for coming. Thanks for being the first Gun Channels roastee.
That's absolutely fine. Thank you for having me. I'm really going to do that. I might just start up another channel separately for the roast. No promises there.
You could just call it the outlaw roasts or outlaw roasts.
Yeah.
Roasting it with the outlaw.
I might do that once a month. Have one night set aside on probably the Monday night chat. Now I think about it, and do a roast that night.
And that'd be good. I mean, you could probably do it every other week, but every week wouldn't be.
It would be too much. I think once a month would be about right.
Yeah, I don't know. Start out with once a month. That way,
and it'll give people time
to kind of get it set up.
I was gonna say it'll give people time to get some ammunition ready.
Yep. And let everybody know who's going to be roasted long before time. So yeah, we'll do that. If the audience likes it, well, I'll keep doing it. If they don't buy into it, then we'll go from there.
Sure. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, I'll do that for you guys. But thanks for having me on. Remember, I'm doing the bracket tomorrow night for the 1980s professional wrestling tag teams. The best tag teams of the 1980s. So anybody interested in being part of that chat, let me know, and I will send you a link.
That was before I was born.
Yeah, and if you were a professional wrestling fan, you don't know what you missed, because the 80s was the golden age. It was great.
Squib, thanks for coming, buddy. It was fun to have you. I don't get a chance to be in many chats with you.
Yeah, most Sunday nights I can't jump in, but tonight I could, so I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, I wanna try and do a. I'd like to try and do a reloading chat here one of these nights. Just nothing specific. Just I know there's a couple of people out there that have been asking some reloading questions, and I think it was Calaveras. I think was one of them. It's been asking a lot. I want to try and get some of us together that reload and just have it's kind of a free for all, and just a little bullshit session, and maybe talk about some of the tools and some of the pitfalls, some things that we've done and that worked really well, and some things that we screwed up on, maybe, just kind of a fun little segment. So I'll let you know, or let me know what Sundays you can do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's always a popular subject, but just not with everybody. I know everybody doesn't do it, so some people are like, oh, it's another reload chat, I'm out of here. But the people who are into it, or the people that are interested, they usually get pretty involved. So
yeah, I mean, I know you have your bench set up down there. I've got my stuff here. Yeah, I don't have a very nice setup right now, but I do.
Yeah, I was deep priming brass during the show, so
yeah. I just have a single stage, and I have a lot of hand tools. So, I mean, I'm definitely on the end of like starting inexpensively and not going for volume. So, some of you guys are running Dillons and shit like that, where you can crank out ammo like crazy. I'm the total opposite. So it'd be kind of neat to all be in the same chat and talk about our different methods. You know what I mean? I think people would like it. It could be an hour or 2 hours, whatever. And if if people aren't interested, then we'll move on. But so let me know what Sundays you can do it. That'd be awesome to have you.
Well, I know I'm free next Sunday. After that, I'm not sure, but I know that's not very much notice.
No, it doesn't matter. You don't really need notice. It's fine. So we'll try and plan something for next Sunday. I'll see if anybody else is interested in jumping in, and then what we'll do too is if we have some room on the panel, we'll invite. I'll get some people that might be interested in getting into it, and see if they want to be on the panel too. That way they can ask some questions and sort of spark some conversation maybe. So that'll be good. So let's plan on that. Snowy, what's up?
Not too much. Thanks for having me. I am with my new job. I'm gonna have to start transferring. So my weekly show, I may do one more Thursday night show this week, but other than that, I'm gonna have to change the date or the day and time on those with the new job. So just stay tuned for that. I'll give a little bit more of an update and stuff on the channel within the next couple of days, so everybody kind of understands what's going on. But other than that, thanks for having me. If you guys haven't, go hit the subscribe button over on YouTube. And again, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. Patriot, thank you for coming. Thank you for doing last week's show. I think I really appreciate you, doing it on my show, which is really cool. But not just that, I think it's really, it's an important thing to talk about. I think it's really inspiring. And I think it's freaking cool. I think it's really cool what you do, and having your. I'm really excited and anticipating some videos from you. I'm really curious to see what it's like for you to shoot. And like Declan's video today was like really cool. I was like, wow, that's a neat idea. I never, just putting an offset red dot on it so somebody else could stand behind you and help you aim. Really neat. Really simple, really cool. So I appreciate it. If you want to say a few things, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's been a rough week trying to keep this under wraps, but I'm sure everybody knew. I am on Twitter and stuff like that, but I'm kind of working on setting up a channel there on Gun Channels and posting some stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But I do appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me, even though this was a rough show.
rough for you.
Rough. Oh man.
For you? Come on.
This is a groundbreaking show.
I'm gonna put this on
gonna-
my resume, and they're gonna check
Yeah.
this out, and boy, they're gonna say, "Yeah, sure, no problem."
This is a groundbreaking show. This is gonna lead to people doing roasts on their show and everything. It'll be groundbreaking. It'll be amazing.
This is why we teach people how to use computers.
That's true. It's true.
Should have stayed under Guess Who then.
Yeah. It was the blue man. It went from Guess Who, and then the Guess Who went away, and it just said never mind. Forget it. Gunpowder, what's happening in your neck of the Texas?
Well, now that we're moved and settled in, we're going to be doing DIY
in Texas.
What's
How
that?
the hell did you just say she was naked in Texas?
No, I said
My
what's going
neck of
on
the
in your
woods.
neck
Oh,
of
okay.
the Texas.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, what? She
Why must everything go back to being naked? What the
don't
hell?
I don't
That's
know.
what I thought he said.
Well, we were talking about sheep. You got a little excited.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling
Sheep.
you. But yeah, we're gonna start doing some DIY videos. I am about to have my 300 subscriber giveaway soon. Hopefully this coming up week. Thank you for having me. And next Sunday it goes back to regular channel for Gun Gals. It will be back on Dell's Mount Outdoors, 8:30 Central Standard Time.
Very cool. Grim, what's happening? You got the summer off still, huh?
Sort of.
He's got his kids at the house full time. There's no time off now.
Yeah, wait a minute. I can't send them to school anymore. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That's
Put
bullshit.
them in military.
Come
school.
on.
Welcome to my life. My kids
Yeah,
aren't
just-
even old enough to be in school.
He just locks them all in the garage till September.
Yeah. No,
Cut them
actually,
loose
I've been working another job right now, doing some little on-and-end work on a range that's opening up by us. So
Cool.
kind of interesting to see the new target carriers going in and everything being put up. Kind of neat.
Yeah, that's neat. It's cool to see it on the other end, huh?
Yeah, a little different, But that's all. I got to be there in a couple hours.
Go get
See
some
how
sleep.
Yeah, we'll see how productive today is.
Yeah, right. Mr. Gizzard.
Thanks for the invite. Check out my website, gizzardgary.com, join gun channels, and visit guntube.org. That's all I got.
That plaque on your wall, that's the one your daughter gave you, right?
The top one over there, yeah.
Yeah.
She made
That's
that.
cool.
She made that on her Cricut.
Oh, it's what's
Cool.
it
It's
made
a
out of?
chalkboard we picked up at Hobby Lobby, and then she made the decals to go over the top of it.
Oh, cool. I thought it was made out of. I thought it was like a board. I thought it was almost like a cutting board kind of thing, but no.
Yeah, it's just a chalkboard with a rope hanger.
It's cool. That looks really neat. Yeah, it looks cool from.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
took her a
through the
long
camera.
time to do that because each color had to be a different layer, and you had to get them all lined up exactly the same way. So she
Very cool.
went to an awful lot of effort for that.
Yeah, that's cool. Ape, you want to take us out? Do you have anything going on first of all?
Pervert.
Take us out. It's on a nice date and buy us dinner and not expect nothing.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my damn Reuben sandwich and sweet potato
Nothing.
fries. So,
Oh, I had a Reuben last week.
really, was he that kind of bronze-looking guy on Backpage?
It was a crispity,
All right.
crunchity diner Reuben.
Let's
Was he
see.
6 foot?
Well, over on GunTube, I did post another beer and sandwich. I should be posting one either later tonight or Monday. I usually post stuff either I don't know, a couple days or a week beforehand on GunTube before I have them live on YouTube and that. So, other than that, you can check me out on Instagram under FineApe1393. So, gratuitous plugs out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, and Jonas of all ages. Thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out gunchannels.com for more Pro 2A content. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back at 9:30 a.m. Eastern with the early watch, followed by open lobbies throughout the day. Keep an eye out for Black Cat Outdoors, lunchtime, and litterbox chats. Jonas isn't here. Our Monday night Gun Channel's Monday night programming at 8 p.m. Eastern is Clover Tax MOA Monday and Hawaii Volcano Squads Locked and Loaded. 9 p.m. Eastern, Never Enough Ammo, aka Mr. Matt's Guns and Geeks podcast, The Week in Geek. 11 p.m. Eastern, the Outlaw Hatfield's Monday Night Shootout. And every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's the Daily Gun Show. Remember to be on the lookout for Ellis the Degenerates, aka the Outlaw Sheepfuckers, Late Night with the Outlaw.
Fuck you, bitch.
That was
also,
good.
check out guntube.org as a free, unrestricted Pro 2A video platform. If you like what you see over there, go over to Patreon and help them pay the bills. Also, check out 247gunshow.com. It's basically eBay, but with guns. It's free to sell for gunchannels.com members, and anyone can buy. And remember, a hot dog is a sandwich, and keep your guns oiled and your chambers loaded.
And that's why I keep that guy around. Best outro in the business. He's well worth every penny.
Ladies and
well
gentlemen,
worth-
I'm in the market for a new co-host. I've just fired Gary.
Jerk.
Wow.
What about George? No, that's
I hired
discrimination.
George.
Hey,
You
Alice,
can
I
use
was
that
scrolling-
sheep you were with.
Hey, Alice,
I'm
I
not
was
sure
He doesn't want to give that sheep a microphone.
I was scrolling through Facebook
George
and
is
I
a-
had a game
George
ad
is a
pop
smart
up.
one.
George is a good kitty.
George is a smart one of that bunch anyway.
Ellis, I was scrolling through Facebook and I had an ad for a game pop up and it said, "I bet you can't swallow a building." Thinking to myself, yeah, but I know somebody that could. Happens to be nicknamed Sheepfucker, so.
Uh-huh.
And on that note, I'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Give him the
Good
bird.
night.